Fuck. He sucks.
I just see fucking Magnum on the outside just...
Hey man, I'm getting my support kills in.
Eventually, one of them will be whistled down and they fight for life.
And then I will get the kill. Yeah, I got my assist.
Oh my gosh.
I got my assist.
Ruined my combo, man.
And then I finished him. I just finished him. Yeah, I'm gonna finish you. Oh, I missed this.
You missed it, you dummy. Oh my goodness. You did to yourself. Hey, you fucking
Oh my gosh. Okay. What have we done? Guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime, the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and definitely never tangent. Not at all.
Not at all.
We're definitely not starting late because of a tangent. But anyway,
no.
Never
today
tangent.
I'm joined by Gustav 13
Yep.
and GamingEmblem.
Hi-oh.
So guys, how was your past week? What's been going on? Gustav?
It has been fine. I want to say we just... Did we start this week or did we actually start last week? I think we actually started last week for Saga Frontier, but still going through it. Actually still on my first character, but I'm trying to do a lot of side stuff right now and it's been fun. Besides that, trying to get things organized for clan matches. It's actually going to be tomorrow's because they love changing the days sometimes. Instead of it being a Saturday, so hopefully we're ready for that. Besides that, just keeping myself at home. Pandemic stuff's kind of still going on outside, so it's going to be a bit till things really pick up again outside of just like stream life. What about you guys?
Well, I too started Saga Frontier during last week. I'm a little bit farther along. I finished up T260G's story. It's pretty cool. The mecha campaign seems pretty fun. I did the first part of Fuse, and I'm literally on the final boss of Aselius as of before the podcast started. And I mean, like, literally before the podcast started.
Nice.
And it's been fun. I mean, we discussed a little bit ahead of time, so you know that totally wasn't what was keeping us up before we got started. But really enjoying the game. The Saga games are really solid. Would recommend to anybody looking for a good RPG.
It's like $25 to you right now, so like not bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad price for a really good game. But besides that, just been doing more GBO2 stuff. I thought I was going to get right into like either Judgment or Nier this week, but like I'm having so much fun playing Saga that I might I might just put it off until I get my my fill. I think I don't even want to put it down. Like the game is really good. I'm enjoying every minute of it. Like I streamed it on Tuesday, and my 4 hours of normal stream time during the weekday was over before I knew it. It's just like, what the fuck? It's 9:40. Like, what happened?
Yeah, I've been sick in time, man. That shit's nuts.
Yeah, it's too good. Would recommend, and you can watch it at the online internet video gaming stream, GamingEmblem on Twitch. Holy cow, it's crazy. So I've been having a lot of fun, and I guess we play Battle Operations sometimes too.
Sometimes we kind of play that robot game, I guess.
I'll play Digimon again eventually.
Yeah, I'll be there sometime too for probably both of those. And like we were talking about before, I'm definitely interested in trying Saga at some point. But sadly, it's probably going to go on my list of too many games. And it's going to be one of those that kind of like. Actually, how long would you say it is hour-wise, all the way through?
Well, it depends on how many characters you want to play. Like, if you aren't durdling around too much, I think you could beat the story mode for a character in one sitting. Because each character is like pretty much like a mini adventure.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool in that regard. You just get as much as you want out of the game, and then you can keep playing everybody or don't.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So the bigger thing, at least with the other Fuse character, is that they had their own thing, but they tend to just couple themselves with other characters after you finish their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like once he's actually out on the loose, because he's investigating these people in terms of like him being like a cop or a detective or whatever. and also his own involvement because of his partner getting killed, which is like a part of his timeline. So it's kind of cool to see how he intertwines. He's supposed to be the one that like really actually like brings them together, other than them like happening upon each other, like in their own scenarios. So I kind of want to save him for last, but it may also be a thing where like the minute he's available, I might start doing the ones I've already finished, and then move on to the other ones. I'm still trying to figure out the order in my head a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I did Fuse's story, and it seems like he just has sub chapters based on the character you beat last. Just kind of off of what I played. So I don't think you would be. I don't think you'd be missing anything if you played him, because you wouldn't even get the whole story. It would just be something in relation to the character you just beat.
Would you have to like do character then go like bounce back and forth?
You
like,
can,
Yeah,
but you don't
you
have
can,
to.
but you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, because after you beat the game for character, when you go back to the character select, Fuse just drops out of the sky like Batman.
It's like,
You
what's
can play
up?
him if you want to.
Okay. That's kind of interesting. Cool. Yeah. Anything else?
Hi, Saga.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, for my week, pretty much, I've been kind of busy cleaning house for the most part, and a few things like that. I was working on the garden, and then, I guess slightly bad news, but I mean, she's already found a place nearby to work. But my mom, is headed back this way, because it's this time of year, and plus where people are starting to kind of quarantine more, and also since I guess what I'm guessing is they overhired at a lot of hospitals, so that's been kind of a thing. So she's headed back this way. So I've been doing that. Other than that, though, Path of Exile has had some controversy that I was
Oh
looking up. I was gonna
no!
try to make a video today. I'm probably gonna make it tomorrow instead and be like week 1 summary. And so far, my build is pretty cool. It's I'm calling it the blood to tentacle tie build, because I just shoot
Gross.
out blood tentacles at things and kill them. And so you just pretty much use your own character's blood, which is funny when you cover an entire arena with blood because it'll leave a blood streak on the ground. So there's been some funny Photoshop for some reasons with the characters like the witch or the
Oh god, classy.
Scion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Use your imagination. Anyway, but anyway, the funny thing is though is I beat Innocence, and you know that fight, Emblem, and
Oh, yeah.
just the whole arena was plastered in blood, and it was just like, dude, come in here and look at this. It's like, what have you done? What is who? Like you just smeared Innocence all over the ground. It just looks awful, but it's great. It's fantastic. So I wanted to go to someone's hideout and spell out some words in their hideouts, but they thought of that. And you can't put blood on other
Damn
people
it!
in hideouts. I was like, oh man, I can't troll. No. Anyway,
Got him.
but they had a bad launch thing, which essentially they let, and I know I mentioned it in your chat, but they let streamers in a priority queue, and they didn't really have the list that they sponsored, which was the idea of getting the sponsored ones. So like, I don't know how much Shroud has played, but Shroud I think was one of the sponsored people, and some big streamers like that was kind of paid to come play.
I was gonna
And
say Shroud isn't really known for that either. I don't think for
yeah,
PoE, is he?
I think I'm trying to remember who, but I think maybe some of the group with like Co Carnage and stuff was trying to get them into it more or something anyway. So I couldn't remember if he was actually one of the sponsored. But anyway, point being, they were going to let them in. And the thing is, they don't really play.
Yeah.
So they don't really affect the game that much. And that was kind of the thing. We can go in and let them in early because they're probably not going to get anywhere too quick, and they're not going to change the economy, right? They're not competitive players.
Immediately change the economy.
And the problem is, though, is they just kind of grabbed everybody on the list of anybody who is a bigger streamer, and they just put them in. So you had some of the troller streamers, the trollier ones, kind of being like, haha, I'm in, get wrecked, kind of thing. And there was one
Mhm.
quote that's life's not fair was something that I don't know even who said that, but apparently that was a quote that was going around because some streamer said that. So there's people being dicks. I mean, yeah. And so that was awkward. Then they went ahead and apologized for doing that, letting them all in and whatnot. But you couldn't pretty much even play the first day. I was in like 9 hours. I was still in ledge, which is something you normally hit within the first 5 minutes of playing or less.
Yeah,
So
that's rough.
So then I just went to bed, and then finally everything was fixed the next day. So there was so them letting in people and letting them get further ahead. After 9 hours, there was people already at in game, and then there's people who were still DCing trying to get in at ledge, and that's pretty rough. So big oof on the first day. Then they did a ban wave on I think 20 people because they were doing an exploit. And
Oh.
I need to look at it more. That's why one reason why I didn't end up making the video, because I'm still trying to figure out exactly how it worked. Because it's one of those things that is like, here's the mechanic, but we're going to try to get creative and use the mechanic to cause it to generate more currency. So it's one of those, in my
Oh
opinion,
no.
again, I don't exactly understand how it works yet. I need to actually make sure I'm getting this right before.
Money exploits.
But it looks like it's just getting creative with mechanics, not really an exploit. Like the last one that they did ban waves for that I remember is you put something in your map device, and then you leave the area, and when the map is generated, you wouldn't lose it, and you could just get it back, but it would open the map. Or no, wait, you had a different menu. Anyway, you put them in the different menu, and if you left, it wouldn't use them up, so you had infinite of this awesome thing. This was back in Legacy League. And they did bans there, but that's clearly you have to be doing something that is not an obvious thing that that's definitely an exploit, right? And so that one's like, well, yeah, if you're doing that, you're exploiting, get wrecked if they ban you.
Yeah.
But this one's more like if you step out of the line, it extends the timer, so that means you can kill more monsters, and if you extend the timer, kill more monsters, you get more XP, you get more loot. You just step back in and then step back out and then step back in and out, in and out.
Mm.
And I was already, me and a friend was like, wait a minute. When we were in for like the 5 minutes that we could play together, it was like, wait, did we just kind of like extend that? I wonder if you could get more loot that way. And I think that's exactly all it takes to do it. And you kind of need more of a group. So the thing is, these big money farming groups were doing that. And now they're apparently banned for the rest of this league. They can come back next league, but they can't play at all this league. And
I mean, are they intending to like fix that in the meantime? Because otherwise, it's kind of a weird slap on the wrist. Okay,
they've already fixed it, and those guys can't play on their accounts for the rest.
Because like, there's a thing about getting creative with the mechanics, and then just what people are doing goes against what the game flow is supposed to be, and then fixing that in that regard is still like legit.
The kind of argument though that I've been seeing is they fixed it, cool, but the people weren't making any more money than what they would normally make, and the only thing that seemed to be breaking anything was they were actually breaking the instance, which caused server problems, and that hits everybody. So
yeah, that's another issue anyway.
So
like that's something that still needs to be addressed in and of itself.
But that's like I don't know. It feels like one of those things that unless they were actually doing something extra, unless there was an extra step that I don't know about yet, which could be the case. If there is an extra step to actually make it more of an exploit, I don't. From what I understand, and from what me and a friend just kind of figured out, it was like, we could make more XP out of this one thing. I wonder if this is an in-game strat we could do. And like at that point, it just seemed like a thing. So unless they're doing something extra, which I'm guessing there might be something extra to it, and if there is, then fair enough. But if not, then right now, from what it seems like to me, it's like I could have, if I was playing in a big group, I could have fallen into that one. Oops. Because it just seems like part of the thing. And again, they weren't making any more money than what they normally would make. Because these guys end up with like.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, it seems more like the server interruptions.
Yeah.
In that case.
So like, and also the ones that got banned were also kind of some of the group that were like,
Are they already kind of like notorious for being douchey?
well, they're the ones who said life isn't fair, kind of thing.
Oh, that did. Okay.
So
they needed.
people
They
are
were gonna get swatted
questioning-
one way or another anyway.
People are questioning whether this is them actually doing it because integrity for the game,
setting an example,
yeah, setting an example, or if this is like getting back at them for being dicks and causing more problems. So
Mhm.
who knows?
They
But
got their
anyway.
just dues regardless.
I will say though, it is good that they actually are starting to do stuff like this for things. If this actually is more of an exploit, because it's been one of those
Mhm.
things: exploit early, exploit quick, or whatever the phrase mantra is. Because a lot of times they don't do anything, and then the people who
Mm.
actually find it and do the exploits get all the rewards, and anybody who didn't do it that day get nothing. So, but yeah, that was pretty much it. Other than that, GBO2 stuff as usual, and some Outriders things. Trying to still, I've been doing too much Path of Exile to get back to Outriders. I still need to finish 2 characters and then hopefully make a leveling video. but anyway, but yeah, the BG Pell Rider. I'm gonna get into that.
Oh, is that the suit?
Yeah.
Could it be the robot? Bacana.
So yeah, Pell Rider VG. What do we think?
Pretty neat. Oh god. Oh.
I'll just see some more play of it. I'm still of the
I need to
kind of
Katsu room. I'm constantly having to do like 550 shit right now,
Oh no.
and it ain't great.
just looking at the kit. I'm glad to see that it has a bazooka, or I guess even an MP80 if under rail for those who want to use that.
Yeah.
Because with its kit and having the Goku's Goku Jaeger's beam rifle, I wasn't too impressed.
Mhm.
You know,
I wish it had
I gotta-
the Marines instead.
That'd be kind of interesting. I know they're throwing
be
the
because
Jaegers on it a lot, but on things.
Because they slapped that on the Hymo for the clan suit too.
Would you prefer the other one for like damage reasons, or because it puts out stuns better or something?
Both. Just volume of fire and just a little bit easier to like mix in those instead of having to count on the 3-round burst and like getting that on there.
Mm.
Yeah, you kind of have to aim a little bit less.
That's the thing about the Jaeger. Like the Jaeger, it lets you do that, but because of people's movement rates and stuff and how hard it is to track sometimes while it's in the burst, you're more so encouraged to do the charge. And the charge, it's not the worst in the world, but it's still pretty fucking slow for what this thing's trying to do.
Yeah, you just have to wait for it to charge, right?
Yeah. I will say its
Outside of that, it
melee is
seems pretty
aggressive.
cool.
Oh yeah.
I was about to bring it up.
Ugh.
Really fast.
But
too.
of course it has that fucking defense heal because of the mode. And I really don't want to pop it most of the time in the situations that I'm in because I got no shield. I don't got a lot of health. It's like a Red Rider without most of the bite because I only got one set of melee weapons.
Hey, you get 15 more seconds though.
Oh yeah, I didn't make the comparison with the not having a shield. The
Yeah, because unlike the heavy, it ain't that heavy. This is a very light end kit.
the heavy does have a
Do
shield,
the
doesn't it?
leg rockets? It does, yeah.
The
But
leg
rockets
rockets
still
force you
better
to
than the
sit
Ifrits?
still, and the
What
Ifrits
the
at least let you.
Yeah.
At least the Ifrits make you let you boost while you're firing, and stuff. Let you move while
Yeah.
you're firing them. But this one makes you stand still completely. You can't boost with it or anything.
I thought it would
And
be
they don't
probably
have a
enough,
stun
but
threshold either.
They don't stagger?
They don't stagger by themselves.
Huh.
That's rough.
You have to like barf those when someone else is hitting or get a couple spotter things in. And really at that point the spotters are very fast and aggressive and they actually do stun by themselves.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the stagger rate on the missile pods are 5%.
Yeah, they're rough. They need to up that like right now.
It says it has 12 bullets though, so is that like you just fire 6 volleys? Because it says 5 times 2.
Yeah, 6 volleys.
Okay.
Just 6 out of each leg.
So I see everybody using the bazooka, but I don't know. Maybe it's. I wonder if the beam rifle though.
We're using the bazooka because you need to initiate in the bunga, because otherwise it's just a waste of the melee weapons, and they look
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Wonder how
Like
the
this is one of
MMG
those. This is one of those suits where it's just like, I know what you want to do, but just shut up and swing. Like just don't try to
Yeah,
make
so
it
that
do
the
other
melee is a
things.
big payoff.
Because if you're gonna do that, there are other things that do that better. You're just wasting your time if you're trying to do it on this suit, which is kind of unfortunate. Because like, especially at least undercost, like I'm finding it hard to like find opportunities to actually get in there and make the payoff worth it. Maybe a 500 would be a little bit better, but there are other suits, you know, like the Mark II and other shit that have a higher priority than I do, because this only has priority 2.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I will say though, the stat distribution and the loadout seems to favor either playstyle though. Like if you want
Yeah,
to
they
go
tried to make
Unga
it balanced for sure.
which I think would be fine in a general, like where you can kind of you're because you're a general purpose suit, you can kind of vary your playstyle. Like this feels like a pretty good example of it. Like if you want to be less Unga Bunga, you just pull out the machine gun or the beam rifle and just blast things with that. Or if you want to get in people's faces, you just throw in your
It's
rockets.
kind of weird
and
because
just...
I feel like the heavy does that better though, because it has aggressive melee and it has like a pretty good like it's a little bit slower with its advancing downswing, but it still has the same like idea. While also having a heavy stagger, and like the spotters aren't as good for sure. It's actually kind of weird that they're that different.
Yeah.
Like I'd be kind of interested in them bringing that for the heavy.
I think it's
But
probably
it already
the
has
lore
all that
thing.
other kit, to be honest, so like it doesn't really need it.
I think that's why they have it using the. Well, I guess it would make sense to.
But
use
that's
either.
the cool thing about this being like a captured Xeon. Like all the Xeon weapons of this are nice. It's cool that it has so much kit that it can switch out and do different stuff with. Like I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I was liking it a little more after seeing it yesterday, but after realizing it doesn't have a shield and stuff, I'm kind of like. And because the thing is, you pretty much have to. You're kind of forced to put defensive parts on it because the thing has nothing for defensive stats.
Mm.
And if you want to go ahead and show off the defensive stats, Gustav, we can go through the stat list and skill list real quick.
Okie dokie. Now that I've been chewed up and spit out of my match. Bah.
But I think we
could be ready for our expedition match.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, yeah, Gustav, if you want to. Oh wait, actually, hang on. I can set that up.
I'm in Ginny, so like I'll do this. I'll do the stats and then just let me know.
Okay, yeah. You're gonna do the stats, and then I'll go ahead and start setting up the match.
Okie dokie.
Okay, I'll get our 4th ready.
And then you got the website pulled up too. We can go through the stats and then talk about some of the percentages, and then we'll.
Actually, let me look at it through the database, because.
But overall, I do like that swing though. Doesn't it hit twice on the downswing? The 2-hit downswing.
Yeah, it's a twofer. It's a twofer, but it's very close together. Like it's very fast. So it doesn't really feel like a 2-step. It's just you get 2 hits and you're just like yeeting at people.
By the way, what's funny is the number of participants for the Brawl can go down to 2. Just find that funny because that's essentially just a
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, it's alright. We just go do a 1v1. That's funny.
So okay, let me look at the it through the level 1. So we got 15,000 health, ballistic resistance is 13, beam resistance is 18, melee resistance is 17, range strength is 22, melee strength is 23, movement speed is 130, top speed is 200, thruster gauge is 60, and turning speed is 69. In terms of the part slots, we have close at 11, medium at 12, and long range at 19. And on level 2, it's 12, 14, 10. There's only like some slight differences between the two in terms of the stat bump. And for skills, we are talking Emergency Evasion System 1, High Performance Balancer level 1, high spec and back level 1, melee combo controller 1, instant thruster precision system level 1, high performance radar level 2, and Hades ability boost level 1. And the interesting thing about that is that they hold a lot of the extra maneuverability that you'd usually have for suits at this cost, especially things that are pretty bunga heavy in terms of like force injection and stuff behind the Hades thing, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's got force injector only when you have Hades up. It does have the double tackle though, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I mean, so you end up with double dodge roll and double tackle while Hades is going, which I think that's kind of interesting. You could technically tackle and then dodge roll if you messed up, kind of thing. I mean, I guess
It's
you could
nice
do
to
that
see the
anyway.
double tackle skill
lot
on
of
more
those.
suits.
Yeah, without it having to be like stuck to the binders or whatever.
Right.
Although considering the kit, it's a little strange that this specifically has it over any of the other PRs, because like it actually has less on it frame wise. So I don't really know where that comes from.
Well, I think it'd be setting a weird, like, I don't know, precedence for the suits, but maybe someone seems like it's lighter, so the thrust consumption or
Does the
whatever.
Red Rider have double tackle? I don't know.
Oh no, because there's no consistency in this
That'd
game.
be,
Yeah,
that'd be
I was
kind
like-
of cool, because that shit's got even less on it. It doesn't
funny
even have
thing is-
leg
Right.
rockets on that bitch. Like,
You were like,
it should
because
have that,
it's
no
lighter.
problem.
It's lighter and it has the. I was just
Actually,
like, I was
doesn't
like,
this fucking thing? Hold on, wait a second.
I was like
This
looking there. I was
bitch,
like,
this bitch has it. Doulahan has it, and it's carrying a fridge door.
wait, it has what?
Doulahan has force injector,
Oh
and
yeah,
is
it has a
carrying a
force
fridge
injector.
door.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about the double tackle skill.
Yeah.
we're
But
No,
talking
yeah,
about- we're
I'm
about
talking
force
about it,
injection.
but like, I mean, talking about both, but like, the differences are just kind of weird between the suits. Because technically, this is a heavier frame. It's all integrated, and it's got a big old like shield that it's carrying around, but it's got
Holy
more
cow,
stuff
Frank.
going on baseline, which we'll get into this thing later. But you know,
Yeah. But without a shield and those low resist, I mean, you pretty much have to put resist parts on it, or it's kind of a big oof. What do we got for? And you kind of covered two of the percentages with the missiles and the My God, what else are we missing for percentages? What's the swing percentages, and then what's the I guess weapon damage? Can you go over that too with the weapons real quick, Gustav?
I think the downswing was what 180%. Someone was saying the other day.
Was that 20?
160 according to the JP wiki.
The
And then
21.
it's
Okay.
80 on each swing, but it is a two-hitter.
So we got the giant bazooka, we have the MP-80 with a grenade launcher, and then we also have the beam machine gun for the main weapons. Naginata actually starts baseline at 2,000,
I think it was a
and I'm assuming that's per blade. I'm sorry saying 100,
Seems to be,
160 downswing, yeah, a little late on that. But head-mounted Vulcan, I don't know what the stun threshold is on this, but it's enhanced. The enhanced version. The arm beam
2%
gun's pretty
stagger.
nice. At 210 per hit. Heat rate's 10%, and the range is 200. And then
The arm beam has
367.
14%.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
And then the
that's
leg pod
good.
is 367 per hit. 12 ammo and 350 range.
Curious, how does that compare to the Jaeger's bot gun for dagger ratio? And what are the Vulcans dagger and damage? Again, sorry.
2%.
2%. Okay. The damage isn't
84
not too
damage or
bad.
so.
Okay, never mind. I thought I saw something else earlier.
The spot gun for the Jaeger is 10%.
Interesting. Kind of hoping be a little bit more, but I didn't. I haven't played the Jaeger in quite a while actually. I've been meaning to play that more at 450.
Yeah, the Jaeger can't even stun on a clip. It takes 10 shots to stun. It can only fire like I think it said 8.
Yeah. There we go. We'll talk about that here in a second, but to kind of show that off, there's how you get that
Hathaway
pose.
Flash.
Look on the ground. You can see the mark where you're supposed to stand.
Oh. oh.
Oh, I didn't even look there. I just kind of stood in front of the thing.
Yeah, there's actually a marker for where to stand.
That's pretty cool though.
But like, again, there's not an easy way to take a picture with the UI and everything. Is there an easy way to get rid of the UI?
No, you just have to have friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to have friends that go into the camera and then they take a screenshot of you doing the pose.
It's pretty
Friends.
lame.
Rip.
But anyway, okay.
Eh.
So there you go. But whenever you're ready, Gustav, we've got this set up. I guess real quick, final thoughts on the Pell Rider VG or anything else we
Being
want to talk
coach.
about it with?
It's neat. I really want to see more gameplay of it. I really want to be able to do it at cost. I feel like a lot of people were kind of lukewarm on it in the beginning, but like the way that his melee works, I think turns some people around, even if the rest of his kits either pretty solid or kind of like so-so. It also just
Yeah.
suffers from transformation problems, but like that's just the lineage of that suit line besides the dual hand, which again, we'll talk about later.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks fine. Kind of like we mentioned, it seems versatile. Can kind of cater to a few different styles of play. So, really, just depends on how you want to use it. I personally think if you're looking for, if you're lacking a good general at these costs, I don't think it's a terrible thing to roll on. But I personally would lump it into like one of those suits where it's just like if you're rolling for something else and you happen upon it, it's not a bad suit. It doesn't seem like a bad suit to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I know.
Actually, here we go. Here's an interesting take, I guess. I would say if you're looking for another general, though, what can we buy in the store? Actually, that's not bad. So, another one that's pretty well rounded in the ranged and melee, and I would argue is better just because it has a shield and has only 1,000 less. Oh, okay, actually 2,000 less health, but you can get health parts now because you can actually buy parts.
Mm-hmm.
The Alex, and you
Yeah.
can buy that at Master Sergeant 1. I can't believe I said major. Master Sergeant 1, and you just got double dodge roll right out the gate. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say that's pretty much just as good doing range damage and a mix of melee as well.
Or just cross your fingers for the Gym 3 lol.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I mean, there's
Oh.
definitely more meta suits, looking at the Gabaldi beta at 450. But as far as stuff you can buy, I think there's.
Actually, yeah, you know
I
what?
think
If
this
that's in
is-
the store, just get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At this point, there's stuff in the store that I think that you could buy that could compare to this suit. Kind of my problem with it. Like, even then, if you want another suit that pops something, you could buy the BD3. Now, this takes instant 10, so probably not a actual viable choice there. But if you've been playing a little while, then it might be.
Yeah, thinking about the beta kind of makes me sad though, because it's like all the maneuverability that Hades affords you in a next gen suit. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
the same cost. Like what the fuck?
The beta is only in the lottery though, so you can't buy it, but still. Also, wow, that thing has a crazy ton of health now. Holy crap. Okay, we'll be talking about that one later.
Yeah, jeez.
The gacha. Okay.
Gacha got kitted out, dude. That's one. You know what I didn't realize? Is that it fucking has force injector at all. I didn't know that.
Well, I went over it for
level 2. Now it's got a level 2.
I went over it for the video. I'm gonna have to redo that part because now looking at it here, I'm like, whoa. Okay, I kind of glanced over
this shit going on. It's got some shit going on.
I make fun of this suit a lot, but wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna have to
I don't make fun of it because some people get crazy in this suit, and that hammer gun's scary.
I hate seeing Nagashi when I'm playing a raid, man.
Are you ready, dude?
Oh yeah. we can go ahead and sorry.
Should we pick Arctic base since we only have a small amount of people?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. I was just looking through more of the. I mean, you can get a comp for it. Master Sergeant.
I wish we
1 as
could
well.
do training base for.
So yeah, there's definitely some options that you can just buy in the DP store at like 400, 450 now, and 500. Maybe not 500, but it's actually cool that we're starting to get options around that. So let me go ahead and change the topic real quick to Brawl mode, and I'll ready up. So
Oops, we didn't change the map up.
somebody want to eat out real quick? Because this is a big
That'll
map.
be fine.
Okay, it'll be fine. No big deal. We'll do two of these. But yeah, Brawl mode.
It's pretty cool. I like this mode a lot.
I like it a lot, but I love free for all stuff a lot.
Mm.
And yeah, so
I kind of don't want it to be relegated to weekends either. Actually,
yeah, I know, right? I kind of want a separate rated mode or something for this, just because.
like I was saying that this would be
Oh.
a crazy mode to replace ranked with, to bring ranked back with.
I mean, it
If
reminds
you're gonna
me.
do individual stuff.
Oh, who dis?
Who this? Who there?
Who dat?
Ooh, there.
Hey! Look behind you. Yeah. Take that, Mark II. Oh no, that's a raid. Mark II. I'm sorry. Take the raid. Ah.
Booga, 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 booga.
I will intensify you. Yeah, bully that raid. Yeah.
priority.
Yeah, bully that raid. Yeah.
What is this?
Gustav, what are you
This
doing, Gustav? Gustav, there was
Shut your ass up.
kill.
Okay.
No, according to Keikaku here, please.
Train noises.
Oh, okay, I was like, where's third place? How is there not a third place yet? But anyway, so the main thing with the Brawl mode is it's pretty much simple battle. Only it's a free for all mode, and you get score. You get the cost of the suit, and then you get the 15% of the points. If you do enough damage to get an assist, you get 5% point steal and 30% of the
Fuck. Sucks.
I just see fucking Magnum on the outside just.
Hey man, I'm getting my support kills in.
Eventually, one of them will be whistled down and they fight for life.
And then I will get the kill. Yeah, I got my assist.
Oh my gosh.
I got my
You ruined my
assist.
combo, man.
And then I finished him. I just finished him. Yeah, I'm gonna finish you. Oh, I missed this.
You missed it, you dummy. Oh my goodness. You did to yourself. Hey, you fucking up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What have we done?
Come here with this stagger and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my leggies. Oh, why you do this to me? No.
Oh wait, he repaired. Oh yes.
My body. Oh.
Yes.
You have too much
Thank you for
fucking
the help.
DACA.
Thank you for the help. Wait, I'm in first place. No.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna help you all right.
Yeah, the hell. Let's go. Wombo cowboy.
Anyway, yeah.
You
So
fool.
that's a segment. That's going at the beginning of this. I found the little
Just
thing.
as like a preview, like
Yeah,
cold
that's
take.
oh my gosh, that's the beginning of this episode. What in the world are we doing? Oh my gosh.
Just punching her faces being stupid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, screw it. If it takes me till like Saturday to get this episode up, I'm gonna do that.
Scary.
Because I want to do that zoom into the faces and stuff. And goodbye, legs.
No, believe.
Emblem, I gotta get the kill. Emblem, what are you doing, man? Emblem,
Sure, good luck with that.
he has no health. Oh,
Yeah.
dang it. See, there you go, Emblem. You got
Leave
the
some
kill.
Magnum left over for me.
Hey, Rhino, get the raid. Get the raid. Yo,
He's bullying.
Body.
Now he's gonna take it off for himself. Let's go.
Guys, you guys are all team and stop. Don't make him king.
I'm playing the long game over here.
Don't encourage this man.
Man,
Oh no, I just spawned
I
right
got
on
him and he
Gustav.
stunned me.
No.
Sure would be a shame if there was a scary raid nearby.
I know, that's why I'm running away, so that you have to go through Gustav to get to me.
Are you gonna use Gustav as a wall? Alright. Gustavi, let's get Magnum.
Rhino's got his own
He's
ideas
already
right now.
there.
Out.
Thank you,
Gustav,
Rhino.
no!
There's a raid behind you.
Get him, Rhino!
Oh no, I was
His ass, Rhino!
no. No! No! Dang it!
Oh my god. He's coming! Oh my god.
Count on you, Magnum.
Oh.
Good job setting them up for the kill, buddy.
I thought the
play it.
missiles would be enough. I missed. I hit a shield once. Otherwise, I would have got that kill.
Also, I think the threshold for it letting you sit in the spawn is actually shorter too, because it's the countdown's shorter. So they eat you out very fast if you don't hit the button yourself.
Yeah, like it's sorting in like 10 seconds and it yeets me out.
Rhino. Oh god,
So you
and Magnum.
The point is, what would be the idea is then you don't spawn so you can win at the end of the game. I already thought of that, and I was like, aha! Oh wait, no. They actually thought of that.
Yeah, like now you get
Good
your
job. You got to get in there. You have to. Ow.
Yeah, like you're legitimately rewarded for like continuing fighting.
Yo, Rhino.
Because you get assault, you get assists, you get all this other stuff. Like as long as you're doing damage while you're at the top and maintaining, it'll reward you even as other people are fighting.
It's just song. Gustav, we cool, man. Oh god.
The prioritize.
Ow.
Owie. That's what I'm talking about, though. This dude, I'm over here doing crazy flourishes, and he's like, "Badoo, I got you, I put ya," and I'm like, "Damn."
It's one of those simple wins kind of thing.
Vacation redeemed.
Whoa,
Oh no!
Oh, I'm coming.
Vacation redeemed. Oh no!
Gustav, don't look at me! Don't look at me! Look at the scary one.
Why did that not stun you, by the way? You were crouched. The fuck?
The bazooka? I'm not sure.
Reached. Oh, reach.
No. Damn it. Hit him.
Damn.
Hey. Gustav jumped up. Fuck. Oh my god, I had to kill.
No! Dang it!
We can't let him win.
Oh no.
Turned into. Let me in.
Let me in.
I'm angry.
Let me in. This is a dance.
No, this is not a dance.
Yes! Oh, dang it. Emblem's back in the lead. No! It's all up to you, Gustav.
I wouldn't count on that. The wombo combo.
Ow.
I'm fucking out. Bye.
He's running away.
I'm going to the base where you guys can't spawn.
Here. Rhino, kill me. Take the lead.
Oh no!
That's the thing. I don't think it has splash resist either. It just was like, no.
But yeah, so pretty much, I love the game mode. It's the free for all thing. You can get a lot of score from just playing the support game. You get assist. Yeah, it's a little weird that they're doing it like that. I guess it's 50% of the game, because I know when we did the 10-person, it only had 5. So
that's really weird.
But yeah, overall, I'm a big fan of these modes. I don't know if I already said this, but if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But I did a lot of the competitive like Halo 2 free for all stuff, and I love that they had like competitive modes for that kind of thing. And this reminds me of that so much. So like, yeah. What here? If we want to do this one more time, what cost are we doing? 450 or what? Pick one.
Whatever.
I know
costs them all, bud.
450.
450. Okay. But yeah, the
Yeah, not jungle. All
oh
right,
yeah, I
let's
forgot to
see.
do. I forgot to do Arctic base.
And
That's
keep
why we-
freaking forgetting the map. Meh.
Oh man, why are we on this map? Oh no.
The even bigger map. Say no more.
Oh.
Well, I guess I should say longer map. It might not be bigger, but still.
I've been encouraging every match, guys, just for you all.
Wait, why though?
I count on you.
Oh my
And then
god.
by you mean yourself.
Hmm.
I brought out my secret weapon.
Oh no.
I'm willing to throw all my street cred out the window to win this free for all match on the podcast.
Me for the street cred right now.
I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna do this.
Magnum, I
Magnum, swear to God,
I
if
only
you're in the
expect you to
egg.
do one thing. Oh no,
That's the
Magnum, I
exact.
expect you to die.
Oh,
I expect you to die.
I expect you to die.
I brought my secret weapon, Magnum.
I'll never talk. Okay. But yeah. So, what do we think they could do to maybe change this up a little bit? Or I'm kind of curious.
I kind of think spawns could be random.
Like, just get rid of the points.
Yeah.
No simple battle things. Well, there's a best worst.
Where they just kind of spawn you randomly all the time.
Yeah. Now I will
Yeah.
say that's something that people bitch about in other competitive modes like this. It's like the spawns are so bad to keep putting me in front of people. Like, so I think they're trying
That's
to avoid
true.
that by using their the simple battle elements, so at least it's a little bit more predictable where people can be. But like, especially on bigger maps like this, and you kind of need it for the bigger rounds. Like, there's at least variety for where you can be and where you drop.
Yeah, and I think the reason they do it too is like by letting people choose where they spawn, it keeps the matches flowing.
Yeah, so there's no one. There are people who go out of their way to go to the edges and just chill there, but most people.
Oh
are,
my
like,
gosh, that's what you
engaging.
brought. Yes.
The best worst.
Ugh.
I was gonna say, is it a fucking support duel? Yes, of course it is.
Where are you going, Magnum?
No, you're a better priority than me.
My general priority on my.
Why are you
my
running?
Isaac.
Oh no, no, no.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. No.
My
me
body,
Pew 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 pew.
not the Gatling smashers.
Why is that not? Hello?
Ah, my leg. But yeah, the
No, I'm getting teamed. Oh no! Hey, I'm just support, defenseless support.
But yeah, random spawns could be kind of interesting. I think I agree though that having the set spawns is a little bit more interesting because you can just see where everybody's at. You don't know necessarily who it is unless you see their first, second, and third kind of thing. But I kind of like that, and I like how they have it set up too, as far as the. Oh,
I know we were talking about it a little bit the other day. That it's a little weird that like they really only show your suit in the beginning and ends of things, like for the results screens,
yeah.
as opposed to being like a top 3 or like a runner up or anything. And that was kind of echoed by what was it? Flailter's just talking about that, where it's like kind of feels bad, man, when you're like in the top 3, but it just shows you being like, just losing and that's it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would change that. So like, either you get some more points, or there's some kind of partial win.
I feel like
thing.
the obvious, more toxic response is like, it's supposed to just be one winner. You should be better, but it's also like, eh. It's also a quick match mode. It probably shouldn't be that serious.
Oh, for sure. Ow.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Shit. Heckin' Magnum.
What?
I was good and he fucking laser beamed me. You guys suck.
I'm just intensifying over here.
Why isn't this working? You're supposed to fight each other because I have a picture on you.
He's like, but the strategy
Oh, no.
you said isn't working good, yo.
No!
Oh my gosh, you bobbed and weaved through
Like I
my
have no
missiles.
good stunts and can't defend myself. Ah!
What stuns? You stunned.
Yeah. Sorry. What is that?
What's a stun? Oh my gosh! By the way, can we talk about the bases missing? Just feeling really weird.
It's so weird. This is
I
this
can't.
empty
I don't
spot.
like
They
it.
should have put another spawn spot there. They should have made one special for these
Ow.
maps.
No, I don't have fucking balancer.
I forget.
Why do people play supports? Hey. Rhino, I'm in last. We should team up on Gustav, who is currently in first. Shit, the base is gone. Where'd it go?
Are you gonna hope to use it as a cover? Is that what that was? You just got up like, oh, it's not there.
True enemy Magnum.
Oh no.
True enemy. What?
Intensify man.
What are you talking about?
Over there laughing on his hill.
With my support hubris.
Yeah, like give it a Mario Kart or a Smash vibe with like the robots up top and like the pilots clapping or something. That'd be kind of neat.
Where you at? Oh, he's behind me, isn't he? Ah, dang it. Oh, yes, he is. There he is. Ah, no. My leg.
I'm so used to playing this like a team game, and I'm just like, yeah, that guy's gonna die. He's like, no, I have to kill him. Hold on.
Oh shit, that's me.
So that's another thing too. I guess.
Do
you guys, either of you, dislike this mode at all? Like, because there's been a lot of like dislikes too on this game mode.
I like this mode.
I need to play a little bit more.
To kind of point that out. Where you at?
I like that they were willing.
Somewhere.
I like that they were willing to go there with it. I do hope that they touch on it more in the future, but this is cool. I like that there's an option like this.
That's the first place. It's over here, shooting at me. Actually, wait a minute. I should be able to beat him in a fight.
Are you sure about that?
If I don't miss his giant dome. Oh,
that neutral shouldn't have reached like that. Grass.
No.
Party games for GBO2. Asian, you play a party game. Mbon's a party game. What are you talking about? Or you're trying to be funny. You play a party game all day.
What? How did that shoot sideways? I hate this sometimes. No. Punch. No!
Whoa, I countered you. I wasn't expecting that.
Get back here. Why do you have so much boost?
Alright, we gotta go kill Rhino now.
Not if I get there first.
I lack output. Why is the Isaac so bad?
Why is it so amazing?
He's just like in this
Rhino's
corner.
just sitting there, man. We gotta get him.
He's on the grundle.
Emblem, nope, emblem.
Yes! Yes!
Ugh, my missiles, did I hit? No! Gustav killed him.
Pew. Ow. No.
Put me in, coach. Oh, well, this is just kind of funny.
Uh-oh.
Kill!
No!
Lilac Burst. Isaac fucking sucks.
Yes, calculated.
Gustav, you're supposed to not fight back, so Magnum wouldn't come in and one shot you.
Okay. GG's. Thank you,
It shouldn't
Rhino,
cut
for
off
being a
recipe before.
fourth.
Yeah, I appreciate you being a victim, Rhino.
It's interesting that they base it on the number of players. I thought it would have just been the same, like, regardless.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah. So as far as kind of back to, I don't think we finished that thought exactly, but the from kind of like the disappointment thing out of it, I like there's been a lot of people talking about how hectic it is, how it feels like they're just getting bodied a lot and singled out, and it's always a mosh pit kind of thing. And we'll go ahead and I'll pull up the actual patch notes now. But what do we? And I'll just go to the Brawl section.
One more again.
Oh, whoops! I already left.
Oh.
But what do we think on that kind of take? And I mean, I personally I think it's one of those things. It's like not every game mode is for everybody kind of thing, and this is just one of those that's like, in my opinion, if you have really good awareness and the other thing I've said it 100 times. How am I blanking right now? Mainly awareness though is the big thing. Knowing where everybody's at, where all the opponents are, and being able to position. There we go. Positioning. Positioning.
I mean, this is a really good test of your self-sufficiency, which is something I harp on a lot too. Like how you fare in those really clusterfucky situations, how you can get in and out of them, and like when you can take advantage and when you can't.
Yeah, I've read this somewhere. It's like one of the discords of somebody said this would be a good lesson to those players who like think they're the shit and blame their teammates for
everything.
That was the exact comment when I posted the video being like, special update coming with the Brawl, and it's like literally one of the comments was like, I don't think this mode is blah blah blah, and then literally like under that people was just like, no, this mode
is because you're bad.
Well, I mean, literally, like, I don't know how it went from that guy being like, but I guess they were just replying to me, and they just do that Reddit thing where they just keep going.
They dogpiled the reply.
Yeah, but anyway, the dude was just like, this is one of those things where either you get good and show that you're actually good, or you find out that you're not.
Yeah, with the sunglasses and the twisted cat, like, not the personnel.
Pretty much. You realize that you're not a main character of an anime, and you're actually relying on your team to, help you.
This mode's for new types only.
But yeah, let's see.
Grab my sunglasses.
But yeah, I kind of wish it would be more than just weekend battle, because I definitely want to get into more of these.
Yes. Make it like a constant thing. Give it a different slot, please.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it in space a little bit. Just saying.
I can't wait to see it in clan match.
Yeah, we said that. Yes. Yes. No, I'm telling you, man. Like, make this for ranked. I want it, and then like the runner-up thing should be factored in for that, so you're at least getting points between those matches, and just make that the new ranked. Like, if you want that to actually be a thing ever. That's as close as you're gonna get for like actual individual achievement.
Well, you know they have the space rated and they have ground rated, Brawl rated. There we go. It is just make a Brawl rated.
I thought about it, and like if they made Brawl the next ranked match, I mean it'd pretty much be the exact same experience. So I mean I guess it'd be fine.
Right. Like, just except of you fighting your own team, you're just fighting everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much what it was. And I mean, you just get to kill your teammates this time instead of just letting your opponents do it when you're trying to steal kills from them.
That was the other thing.
If anything, it's cathartic, right? All those shitty teammates that you didn't have the chance to downswing being in that mode, now you get the shit out of them.
I saw that joke too.
You steal their kills and grief them while they're doing duels like they're playing Smash or some shit. Like, nah.
I invite everybody watching.
Everyone's here.
I invite everybody watching to make a custom room and invite everybody on your block list.
Right. And just go to town. Yep. Hopefully they don't show you up and you look like the scrub, but here's your chance.
There you go.
Time for sweet vengeance.
But like the funny thing is,
now,
somebody.
Now they stop pretending. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Do you want to be that or no? Okay, no.
That's the funny
And
part.
beast.
One of the comments was like, "This is where your teammates who are definitely
Race
not
to the
intentionally
boss boss.
downswinging you are actually downswinging you."
Yes.
Now it's entirely intentional. Oh. With
But,
purpose.
Oh, one thing I guess we didn't really point out and get to show too much there is the lower you are in the lineup of first.
Oh,
to
they
last,
give you like buffs.
gain,
yeah.
you gain buffs, and I think I was getting like 20s plus, like 25%. I think at 10th place yesterday. That's the number I want to remember, but yeah,
They give you a decent number, yeah.
it's pretty good. Then again,
Which I
you
think
can do
that's
well with
something.
assist.
Wasn't there another mode? Isn't that how they do stuff for mix up? Or like the losing side for something gets like a buff? I feel like there's another mode where they did it, but it wasn't like the UI wasn't as clear about their percentages.
I mean, I know there was talk about mix-up doing it when it says like you're about to lose. Like, I don't know if you get some kind of buff there. That's what was weird, is because the way it's worded, it seems like there's something, but I don't know if it's actually a buff. Your health definitely goes up when you die, but
Right.
the other thing too, though, as far as other than just the buff, though, I do like the ability for the strategy. Like, if you're going to be that person who gets assist and you poke kind of deal, I like that seems to be a pretty safe
Yeah, you
mode
just
that you can
gotta
do.
shift your rhythm and just like sack them.
Yeah, so you could play the assist game the entire time, so that you're, probably about 4th to 7th place or something, and then you steal 2 kills right there at the end as a sniper, and you win the game.
Yeah, because you gotta survive those last seconds and hope you don't get wombo comboed.
Yeah.
So there's still some tension to it, and that's the cool thing about how they've been doing the mode. They seem like they're being pretty thorough with like the mechanics, especially when we were talking about some of the other things that they kept into account in terms of like the spawn times and all that.
But that is something I do like. They definitely paid attention to the details of things like that. So really well done, I think.
I will say, like, I'm kind of on the fence. Like last night's matches, it was interesting because it was new, but I could see myself, at least in the case of a 12-man group, getting tired of doing that after a while, because I don't know, and it could just be because what did Gustav say, we're all professionals here or whatever the other night.
There's just shit that we have ingrained in our heads, right?
Yeah,
where, like, it doesn't go that way, it pisses us off, and it's like this mode goes against like most of that.
Yeah, and it's just you just constantly experience. It's just like when I was saying last night. It's just like fucking raid simulator for every class in the game.
Yeah, everyone knows it. It's like, now let's go.
Yeah, like I was running from like fucking 3 to 4 people. I was like, oh my god, these are my raided matches. Like, fuck.
No, we're getting flashbacks. Oh.
Yeah, at least the raids have like maneuver armor 2 and dodge rolls.
But
God
I think that's why a lot
support.
of people like went with high priority seats in the first place, right? Like
Yeah.
raids tend to be in like the top end consistently, unless they get stolen from on the end. But like Axakus and like some other stuff, anything with high priority is getting in there because they can like break up the cluster flex and like still prevail more or less.
I really like the just that whole raid experience, just everybody experiencing it now. Like, I have to agree though. Like, here the other day, I had a game where I was like playing raid. I can't remember what I was, but I was like, okay, I got to beat my rival, so I just need to focus down the enemy raid to beat my rival. And every time I went after him, I somehow beat him as rival. I don't know how. I guess I just dealt more damage or something. But it was just like, no way, dude. Every time I went after him, I've killed the support maybe 3 or 4 times, and every time I go after their raid, I just have to pass a general, and I just see them, and I start hearing as I pass them, mine.
Like,
no.
Just an echo in the background, like, come on, fuck up.
Yeah, then like every time there would be like 3 generals on me. I'm like, oh, why? I'm sorry. I just want to be my rival. Let me
I
kill your
didn't kill for
raid.
Brawl. What is this?
I won't.
I'll
I
do
won't
my
even.
best.
I won't even hit your support. I promise. I just want to kill the raid. But yeah.
Just getting blue balled in the corner. Like, come on,
Pretty
man.
Pretty much. Now when I'm playing raid and rated matches, though, my teammate down to me is like, "Man, this guy just got out of Brawl lobby, man."
Yeah.
Just something like that. But I actually enjoyed it a lot with that smaller group. Like,
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm gonna have to like play with different size lobbies to find a good medium to where like I can, for me personally, I can still like do
Gosh,
stuff and get
yeah.
those good fills from when I like full combo people with whatever suit I'm playing, and not have to like worry about 3 people literally spawning on my head, and maybe I get to kill, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh,
Immediately dead. I
Yeah, there's
traded
no
one
friendlies
for
here.
none. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely see the like 12-man stuff because I think most of the like competitive free for all stuff I played was either 8 to 10 most of the time.
The funny thing is that early
Yeah.
on, it was just like a technical limitation, and then after a while, they were like, "Well, no, it's just competitive." It's like, okay. Like in the beginning, like that seemed kind of sus, and they just didn't want to like do more, and then that just kind of became the standard, right? They just kept it tighter. I think the only time that they really open it up more is for like proper battle royales. Because in that case, you had just like a giant map on top of everything else. Some of ours are big, but like even with 12 players, like on the regular PlayStation, it's like threatening to melt when we're all in one spot. So for us, it's legit like a limitation. But it makes me wonder if there'll ever be a time where they like shrink down the player amount and maybe just tighten up the maps.
One thing Geared
That'd be
mentioned that could be kind of cool. You'd have to run like variant rules on your game mode, but doing like a 2v2, v2, 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 v2 kind of scenario, and it'd be kind of like it'd be
Like
kinda playing
duos?
like
Huh.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's you just have like you like pair everybody up, and you know who your partner is. So then you're playing, and it's hardcore mode because you can hit your teammate. you can kill your own teammate. But that'd be an interesting little thing. I think you just have to ban.
My knee-jerk reaction is just play Mbon if that's what you want. If you really can't
It's
stand not being
Mbon.
in a team, just play Mbon.
It's Mbon, but in battle operation.
Pretty much.
I mean, I guess you could technically do like a tiny group in a normal matchup, but if you want to have like multiple small groups, that'd be something you could do as well. You just have to ban your teammate throwing themselves
Right.
on your sword at the end of the
Yeah.
match,
Look
so
up.
that they can cinch in to win.
I mean, if everybody's streaming it, at least, what we could do if we ever wanted to run one like that, if everybody had some kind of stream thing there, we could do it to where if you kill your teammate, then you minus those points at the end of the game. And then, like, it's like the group score at the end wins kind of thing.
Sure.
So, like...
That could be kind of fun to mess around with.
Yeah, and then, like, then you have your penalty points. So then it's... Because that would be something where I'd be probably accidentally blowing stuff up.
A lot.
Oops, I appear to have
God.
intensified on my
I
teammate.
missile barrage with my
It
MLRS.
may not have barfed on you. Sorry.
Yeah, you're all...
I called dibs on Rhino.
There was a mosh pit over there. I launched some MLRS missiles. I'm sorry. Oops.
Oh, I got a kill. That was me, Magnum. Oh.
No!
But yeah, like I can get the frustration. I could definitely see why people don't like it. But I'm still like I'm halfway myself. And I honestly was kind of like just thinking about it. Because like some people were also saying that all the maps are too small. And I kind of wonder, could you imagine, like, have any of you guys played this in space yet?
No, I kind of want
Imagine
to.
all that wonkiness in space. I almost wonder if this is like a game mode that really excels in space, because you're less vulnerable to rockets because there's no ground to shoot, and you literally have people coming from all angles.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have a whole different dimension to move without having to be able to like
Mhm.
fly or anything.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. I want to see this in a brawl mode just to see what actually happens with that, or in a space
Space
game,
mode.
whatever. Yeah, space mode. Words. You know what I mean. But yeah, I'd like to see this in a space mode. Am I sure there's not alcohol in this?
Oh no.
But anyway, yeah, some of the asteroid or the resource satellite is there's only one spawn point. So everybody's spawning in the rocks there.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they either need to have different spawn points, allow bases to be
Yeah.
spawn points, or
They need to
kind of
bring back the bases for that. Even if they just put an artificial in there, like that's weird.
yeah, just to give
There's
people spawn points or something like that.
yeah, they just use the beacons or whatever there.
Yeah,
sure.
because that one's one where they definitely need more spawn points, and
Yeah, port base too.
well, you said does every map feel too small? And I think the
Well,
problem there.
I don't. That's not my thought. I'm just saying I've heard that before,
Well,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, as far as that thought, I wonder if it's because everybody's just spawning in at the same point, and the only people who probably don't feel that are the support snipers that are spawning in at the edge of the fight, and then just taking pot shots, right?
That was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to have random spawns cross my mind,
Yeah,
because I feel like you just have the same usual problems in the normal games where and it can kind of move around, but everyone's essentially just fighting at the spawns the entire time.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and it just comes back to maybe that's not a bad thing because you want to be able to keep people fighting
And
and
engaged.
there's no
Like if they drop, they don't have to like
Yeah.
travel somewhere.
Yeah, because I think that game mode would be fucking boring if you had to chase some asshole across the map or something like that, So I get that.
but I think
So I think they should make training ground a fucking map.
yes. Let's go.
Come on, you cowards, put it in there.
All right, let's go to Final Destination.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
right.
much.
Give me my
That's
Final
exactly what it is.
Destination map. Assholes.
Let's
Be
go.
super
dude.
dumb.
But
Tell
yeah.
Noob Sama to 1v1 me in the gun cannon.
Yes.
And he at least did it twice yesterday when we were in there. Oh man, that was fun.
Okay, so I guess any final thoughts on Brawl or anything else? Because I think we've covered just about everything. Because I want to do the negative stuff, or well, I don't know, if negative is the right word, but
The bad things.
the negative parts about it, I guess, and kind of look at that perspective of people who don't like the game mode. Because I definitely love this kind of stuff, but I'm a big fan of free for all in a lot of games. So but yeah, any other angles we could cover?
Meh.
Okay, then let's get into the patch notes, and then we'll get into the actual buffs notes.
Oh no. Oh no.
So let's see here. I can type. But yeah, so we talked about the suit. Okay, I thought I misspelled patch notes. We got have we had this normal suit again? Like,
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, from
we
the
already had
banner,
this
yeah.
one? Yeah. So it's the G4. Yeah, okay. Experimental unit 03 helmet and G4 experimental unit suit. So the normal suit you can get. This was really cool. We got the gun cannon SML level 2.
Hey.
So that's pretty hype. Is the level 1 in the ticket shop or anywhere? Like, has it shown up?
I think so.
Because I would find it funny if you can't at least somehow get in the ticket shop rotation. And then the level 2 you can actually get in the lottery. And it's a 2-star.
I'm not sure. It probably has at some point.
I will say, at 350, it's kind of questionable. At 400, if they didn't up the damage enough on the missiles, then this suit's kind of ripped. What they really need to do, and I really hope they buff the like beam rifle, like the rigidity or whatever you want to call it, or
Did they
whatever
ever
that
touch the stun
is.
threshold or whatever?
I don't think so, but I mean, I don't think the stun threshold on the missiles are really that bad. It's mainly just the beam. Like, if you wanted to shoot and charge the beam and then follow up with missiles, you're stuck there for like 2 seconds before you're able to even weapon swap. And then you got
Right.
like the
The
second
ready
before you can
time.
fire. So it's like they're already moving and meleeing you by the time you're ready to shoot them with a missile afterwards. It's like, what?
It's like, oh, just wait, I
So,
got you, buddy.
yeah, so that's been
Yeah,
the weird
sure you
part.
do.
So hopefully they touch that weapon, the gun cannon beam rifle, sometime in the future. But that's been kind of my biggest complaint with it. Because if you just reverse the combo so that then you could do the missiles after, then I think this would be fine. Because you set up on a spot, you're ready, boom, you get a stagger, then you shoot a few missiles, and you can follow it up that way. Otherwise, you're just being opportunistic on a teammate getting the
Yeah.
knockdown, and then you just obliterate somebody's existence because those missiles chunk. So, but other than that, I think it just has a problem of not being able to set up anything by itself. So, and then its damage isn't too big to actually, make it relevant. But yeah, that's
And
a
now that
lot of,
it's not some goofy limited suit, hopefully they tweak it a bit more over time.
yeah. I mean, they buffed the half cannon, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then we kind of showed off earlier with the picture because they're doing a collaboration event with Hathaway's Flash.
Hathaway's Flash.
Woot woot. The video does not work when you log in, but
Good old region locking. Gotta love it. Didn't think that one through.
um,
Good job. I guess it's not for us. Not gonna watch that movie. Okie dokie.
Yeah, the other thing too is
No
it's like
Fathom
it
event.
comes out. They're like it comes out on the 7th in Japan.
Ta-da.
So I wonder if we're gonna
Outside.
get a Christmas like viewing thing. Like
It'd be really funny if they fucking just Gundam infoed it. Like in lieu of actual
I'd be
theater
okay with that.
releases.
I mean, I'd be I'd be good with that. I mean, honestly,
I ain't going to theaters to see that shit. Not right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
shit, it'd be about the same as watching it at the movie theater. Like, might as well just watch it on your computer instead. Fathom events are lame anyway.
Don't like them. I mean, we've had some pretty good turnouts. Like the one for Konosuba was really fun.
Have you ever worked one
Honestly,
though?
I didn't. Oh, okay.
So
There it
you were
is.
the
There
theater.
it
There it
is.
goes.
There it is.
Okay.
That's where it is. Okay.
That's fair. All right, I get you on that one.
See,
Fuck Fathom. Y'all are hoes. Why do I gotta be here in the middle of the night? Why is this shit so late?
Oh,
Because
that's
you
good.
fucking weebs can't wake up in the middle of the day. No, you don't work a job. Shut your ass up.
I will say though, most Fathom events, like most, I won't say all of them, but most Fathom events I ever ran weren't any later than like 8 o'clock at night. Thankfully,
I was gonna say the
so I don't have
Shara's
to worry about being up super late.
counterattack was cool. The narrative was cool. Remember going to those?
Yeah, Zavira was fun. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Getting like the little promo posters. They're kind of lame because they were just Gunpla ads, but it was something.
I like
I
it.
kept all my promos.
3, you can watch the first video. No, you can't.
No, you cannot.
Which is
yeah,
funny
the,
too because oh, go ahead, Magnum. I was just gonna give some background on how Fathom events work, but
oh, okay.
go
Well, I mean, I was just gonna point out the normal suit
Mhm.
that they gave away. It looks pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
Not gonna lie, I like it.
Yeah, the
I
Mafdi
do like
suits
having
are
a
hot.
star on my ass though. Oh, the Nofty one. Yeah. His
Are you
whole
talking about the Ruluka one?
I was like, I like to have a star on my ass, so I'm good. Yeah. Hathaway's is pretty nice.
But anyway, what were you gonna say about the events?
Oh, I would just say like Fathom events are always kind of interesting, just because like nowadays, and it could be different now. I've been out of theater work for a few years, but all the ones that we did, we just would take we have a DVR attached to a projector, and essentially all it is just DVR content, just blown up on the big screen. So we would, whenever we get ready to set them up, we would literally just go and grab our remote for our DVR, and we had a TV that was attached to the projector as well. And we just loaded the DVR and just played it on the big screen. You could literally probably do it at home, possibly.
Welcome to the digital age.
That's big.
Yeah, Fathom might have their own like subscription that gives them special stuff, but like literally we could just go up to the DVR. And I remember One Piece Gold was in theaters for a little bit, and they like leave that stuff on there. So if you really want, if you just want to watch some anime on the big screen, like there's just a shitload of those animes, like Yokai Watch, DBZ, the movies. I mean, they're leading the DBZ
the Brawl one or whatever.
Yeah, like those were on there. They just had a whole bunch of stuff. There was nothing fancy, no film reels or anything like that. Just a cable box.
But okay, so next, this actually, I'm slightly perturbed with this one. In order to strengthen our response to annoying behavior, we have set a limit on the number of times the same chat, can be sent during a battle.
Oh, they restricted the tells again.
Yeah, the number of times you can send the same chat per sortie is limited to 6 times.
Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, the amount of times that I'm getting attacked by,
I thought they were gonna go like 4 or like 2 or like some shit. I was like,
I don't know. I probably say support me on average when it's needed in a game, like 10 times. So now I gotta be like, I need help over here. I gotta put that one on my bar, and then, like I think there's like 4 different ones, but now I'm gonna have to put all 4 of those on my bar instead of just saying support me. So, yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that change, but like as a support player, I feel like the support's gonna be the one that's gonna feel this one the most. But luckily, there's some other.
I believe that nobody respects support players anyway. So like, it's probably just be used to that by now.
But at the same time, this will stop the "you're the best, you're the best" kind of stuff,
you're
right?
the best.
So the people spamming stuff like that, fair enough. But for anybody who's, been in those situations where your team, like you're staying with your team and you're literally 2 steps from them, and it's like the raid is hey, I'm right, help, like.
I'm assuming this is per match, or is it just per life in terms of the tells, or is it just subsequent within a certain thing?
It's per match, so you can only say support me 6 times a game, or for the trolls, they can only say you're the best 6 times a game.
As their game, yeah.
That's kind of neat. So it's just limited.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about fighting beats between the fact that you're like out of the match for almost half a minute each time, and especially in like higher cost matches, and then getting to the fight and then immediately getting piled on, either you're already dead or you're just doing it for the sake of saying that you did it. So like those tells, you're still gonna be fine.
Sometimes, I don't know, like when I say support me and I'm just running and I've defended myself from the raid for an entire minute, and I'm at that time normally I'm actually chat restricted for the rest of the game. But
yes, you already beat the old restriction at that point.
It's kind of just muscle memory though. Like I'm not even, it's just like, okay, well, okay, I'm running, I'm doing this. Oh yeah, but that's right. I'm automatically just hitting the because I just do it with my index finger is how I hit left. So I'm hitting left with just my index finger where I play claw.
Mm.
Like, yeah. So it doesn't take any extra the which I do get the argument where people are like, yeah, but you're doing extra stuff. You need to not chat kind of thing. And I'm all about that. Like sending tells and stuff or chatting with people is one of the worst things you can do in a lot of games
Yep.
because a lot of times they get in the way of actually doing stuff in game.
And I think a lot of people just consider it like, well, if you got time to do this, then obviously you just don't know what to do it yourself.
Yeah. But that's why most of the time, unless there's like a fallback or a few calls like that, but that's only going to be, that should be a thing that everybody's going to do every now and then. But really, the only like tell that I don't know, I feel that anybody should be using is the support saying "support me" is about the
And
only
it's like, help.
one that should be ever spammed multiple times. And at the same time, I guess if you do it 3 times and then you die, and you do it 3 more times and you die, then your team was probably never going to help you in the first place. So,
Yeah. At that point, just take a fucking hit and move on.
yeah, that's where you
You
just
got a
like,
couple more
colorful
minutes in that
alternative.
match, champ.
yeah, that's where it's like, yep, support life. You got to get used to this. Welcome to being a support. Like,
Take
I
the
see,
raids.
I seen a meme of somebody like
Take the
support me,
knees.
support me, support me, and then that meme first time, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's welcome to support life, pretty much. But yeah,
It'd be a little bit different if this game was newer, but even in that case, like, this is stuff that people have been facing in other competitive games for years, even without us having a couple years in this game too.
yeah, pretty much. I was gonna add to it, but yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Ain't nothing new here.
pretty much. But yeah, there's that. I'm just afraid they're gonna keep doing this because this is the first time they've kept limiting these, and I'm just like, why? It's so hard to communicate before games now. I get that people were just like straight trash talking when they could type whatever, but it was kind of cool to actually communicate a plan sometimes when people could either speak English or, well, a lot of times no, but when it did
Yeah, I was gonna
happen,
say, now it's
was
just a matter of
cool.
the language barrier because it's international, right? Like, before it was just us getting in there when we weren't supposed to be and just fucking up the flow of things because people couldn't talk to each other.
Yeah,
And now it's just like, now it just has to be can-tells because they can't, assume that anyone's multilingual and has several different regions now, so.
but so the next thing we have, you can now open the official information by clicking the options button on the premium login bonus banner. So I guess that shows what's coming up, I guess. What that's for. No, I haven't tried that yet. I'll have to do that next time I log in, I guess tomorrow. We talked about the Pell Rider VG. Oh, here we go. Ticket shop stuff. So the Barzam level 1 and 2 is in the ticket shop. So I think I got them both. I was gonna say I don't know what the price is for the for both of those, but luckily the Barzam is a 2-star, so it should be pretty cheap. What are you guys' thoughts on the Barzam and
I like it.
buying it with tickets? I guess real quick, the other two, the Gelgug Marine Commander level 3 and the Zaku Commander level 4. Personally, at this point, at those levels, and they're 3-star, I don't think they're worth the ticket price. Even though I would like to have the Marine Commander if I don't have it. I can't
Yeah.
remember if I do or don't, but it would be nice to have. But I don't think I would get it at that ticket price.
It's interesting because for once I actually have a reason to look at this. I have the plant level 2 that I don't have, the commander type that I don't have, in terms of the Akzaku, and then the level 2 Barzam. I'm already used to the Barzam, so I wouldn't mind running it at 500, but there's like other stuff I'd normally run at 500. But the level 1's still pretty fun. You can get a lot of work done with that.
Well, and my problem with the level 2 as well is I compared it because I was like, I know it has the beam gun, so if you want to do the beam gun thing, then there's that. But if you're wanting to do the shrapnel bazooka, then the Mark II just does it better. It's funny that I think you technically lose a little bit of damage, but your Vulcans are pretty much better, or about the
Or
same.
the same, yeah, and then you get more priority and damage on your melee.
You get so much more, and then you got more defense essentially with
And
the
a shield.
shield, and yeah, so like it's a case of anything you can do, I can do better at that point with that. But if you don't have it, the Mark II, and want that, then there you go. But sadly, the Mark II at 500 kind of just outperforms it as far as the shrapnel goes. And then if you want to use the beam option, though, then there's that, I guess. The level 1 Barzam's kind of cool.
Yeah, level 1 Barzam's at a spot where, like, there's a couple other Zeta suits that are, like, resisting some of the beam, but, like, not enough for you to not be able to, like, hammer their legs or, like, their body and get the same result.
But yeah. Your thoughts on these, Emblem?
I probably wouldn't really get any of them.
No.
Fair enough.
I was just looking to, and I don't know if I would go out.
Like,
of
I
my
could have
way.
also got the complaint, and I was like, no, I still can't wrap my head around that.
Do we know the
Doing it at higher levels is only gonna make it worse.
Do we know the Barzam's level 1 cost for tickets?
Hold on.
Tickets? No.
Doesn't that tell you if you've already got it?
If you got it, you can't find out.
Still be listed in there. Oh no, it does.
Oh, it does?
It's
Okay.
195, and then the level 2 is 240. The plant's 345, and the Axaki Commander type level 4 is 405, which is crazy.
What about the Gogu Marine Commander?
Green Commander is 345 for the level 3.
Yeah, that's pretty rip.
Mudrock's for 330, which it's only the level 2, seems kind of preposterous, but okay. Yeah, they still show you the price even if you buy them. It's once it gets into DP shop and they just like disappear that you can't find out.
I need to remember that because I keep like, oh well, I've already got it, can't look. Oop, I'll bet. Then in the DP store, speaking of that, we got the GBO2.
Woo!
And I think with that, it's a case of there's the super as well. And I would say if you're a support player, you probably prefer the super. But if you're more of a general player, then the GBO2 isn't a bad option. If you need to play,
still do stuff with the melee if you really want, and it's maneuverable. You don't gotta sit still for any of the weapons. Probably should still have Vulcans. Kind of stupid that it doesn't, but that gun's not too bad. The sub gun sucks, but the downswing's pretty nice if you actually can get used to its rhythm because it has a lot of boosts, it has a lot of maneuverability in space, but it still has support problems when it comes to transitioning stuff sometimes.
It does have a shield over the super. I'll give it that. But it has a less damage. I think
it also doesn't have a big ass thing on its back either. Although the fuel fins, I don't know how offensive those are in terms of getting caught by fire. I feel like they don't get in the way too much, but maybe they do for some people.
Then there's the sub weapon you mentioned. I think they should do the same thing what they did with I think the stamens, is they give it 2 more shots. It needs a little bit more ammo, and then I think it would be fine. And then at that point,
honestly, I wouldn't mind if they just buffed the damage along with it. If they're gonna do it incrementally, just do it by a little bit on that too.
Give me buffs.
Nice.
Give it a buff.
I think Emblem had the best point as to why you would want to play the super.
I can't remember. Could you remind me?
Oh my gosh, you don't. When you explode, who gets taken out with you?
You get to take cats down with you.
Doing the Zeta universe a favor. Oof.
Oof.
Okay. Anyway, then we have
now.
Then we have some clan rank stuff. We'll take a look at that here in a second. There's some fixes. I didn't notice anything that was too like game breaking or anything too crazy.
No.
So, but I've got those up on screen now.
If it's a case where the leg running would be displayed through the legs on the Mark II in space maps.
The sound of the HP reduction alert. Oh, okay, never mind. Say it again. Sorry.
You're talking about the little like fixes they made.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really notice anything.
And there's one for PS5 too.
Yeah, I think it's funny how they're completely separate now. So they've got fixes for both.
We got special problems over on the PS5 one.
Hey, dude, did you
My
read
God,
those
dear.
things? Like most of the PS5 problems are like game is unplayable, on it kicked out of match. When you
A
fucking
rare case in which the game
don't
would
get to
stop when
play.
your mobile suit was destroyed. Oh my god, so it
Yeah.
just freezes when you're... Have you been playing on the PS5 client? Like, has any of that happened to you?
You got stuck
yeah.
underground once.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like
God.
there was that one match where the entire game, all I could see was like underneath the ground, and there's just like some crazy like light horizon, and nothing was good, and I couldn't do anything. It was crazy.
Fix a problem in which the controller's internal speaker did not play sound effects when the game Oxo weapon's Mega Particle Gun fired in unison.
My gimmick is broken.
Oh no, not my controller.
So the upcoming clan match is
The game would just... What are all these hitches and crashes?
okay. Hang
The
on, I'm
sortie
pulling
room
back.
one.
PS5's got it rough, dude.
In the sortie
It fucks up
preparation
to
room
go
while
hard.
browsing the mobile suit list in Haro, mobile suit customized, the game would occasionally stop.
Okay, that's something that actually kind of happens in the actual game itself.
Oh my god. That's wild.
What's this with the game mode?
Oh, it's just a
that was a
Oh,
speaker
the
thing.
speaker thing. Okay.
Fix an issue where your PlayStation 5 would explode if you fired an MBL.
It would just blow its CMOS battery and you'd never be able to play games in good. Wah.
For some reason, the game played a sound clip from Encounters in Space, and your PlayStation exploded.
It would play English dub voices from Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Yes.
Oh god, I would love that. Come out, some man's name.
Let's go.
Oh shit.
Okay, so the clan match stuff, we already kind of talked about it. It's tomorrow morning. 4:50 5v5 impact site ace match. Let's go. So they're also giving away a pattern for all participants this time. Metallic A silver. It literally just kind of looks like a metallic gradient effect. I feel like yeah, no, I was like, I feel like I did this in Photoshop while learning how to do gradient effects.
That one poor intern in the corner just like sniffling, like I did my best. What do you mean?
I mean, it definitely
I did
looks
this in
better.
Premiere, like no.
It definitely looks better than mine, though.
Oh my god.
But yeah. Okay, so and then the new suit, I guess, what is this? 54th, so it's still top 10. And then next one we'll open it up to the top 40, and that one's gonna be 250 6v6 tropical desert basic. And that's on
Isn't
the
this
first.
week's top 40? Or is this the last top 10?
This is the last top 10.
Maybe last top 10.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the first is top 40, and then 7th, or the 8th rather, will be top 40 as well. So
The first is gonna be interesting because I'm gonna be able to do that and then like immediately have to go to get my second vaccine shot, and I'm probably just gonna be like dead for the rest of the day. Like, well, okay.
Dude, that's gonna be me on
I
Saturday.
did it.
Getting step 2 of Pfizer. I'm just gonna be like passed out on my bed or something.
Like, oh.
okay, so the balance changes from last month. We'll go through these real quick, and if there's any comments on anything, we can kind of stop. Specifically, this first one is one I'd like to point out. The Dovin Wolf, it got nerfed. They removed the damage control. And looking at the numbers here, the damage actually went up. But
It's funny.
They took away the damage control, so it can't be controlled anymore, Magnum. Of course the numbers went up.
Gosh. But the deaths didn't really increase from it all that much. The rival win rate didn't really go down much, and the win rate didn't go down much, because if they think it's a problem, that's not really its problem. Because everything else at that cost could already
did you mention the sortie rate?
But that's my biggest complaint here, is they don't always put the sortie rate on everything, and I wish they did, because that would give us
it may
more
just be a matter of people being like, well, this thing sucks, fuck this, and just like didn't touch it.
Yeah, and then the people who are already good
in
with
it are just sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, there's no difference.
Yeah, so that's kind of my question, because like if you look at 650, the numbers kind of do the same thing. Like damage is still higher. I don't know if it went up from last time, but well, I guess this would have been the same number. But either way, the gaps between them are still about the same. So it's like it doesn't look like too much changed really, and I don't know. That's a little. So I guess we're another nerf incoming probably next month for the Dovin Wolf or something. But I mean, maybe it's closer. Technically, actually, as far as the average goes, as far as win rate, it's closer to the average win rate. So if they go off just that, then there you go. But again, I want to see play rate with everything, because it's kind of annoying not seeing that, especially when we get to a raid here in a little bit. I think that's why it's very important to also know the play rate. But moving on, we have the Stamen. Everything went up on it. It's looking good now. Everything went to pretty much the averages they wanted, so it's close to average now. Zaku 3 as well, going up. The Birlon actually went up pretty well. It's pretty close to average now as far as the numbers. Anybody play that one a lot?
Pretty bonkers. No, because I feel like it's just gonna be the same.
Sorry, I was laughing about something in chat. Somebody said Wins is a support buff, and all you can do is laugh.
It's
like the
support overhaul
wide, the support wide overhaul buff. Oh, hilarious!
Need to break it to you, but you might need a different class then.
I need that sad music to play, Eric. Anyway, where was I? I was just sad. Anyway, the Birlon. I'm kind of surprised that it went up. Again, I'm kind of curious whether this was a thing of people who didn't really play it still aren't playing it, and if it was the same amount of people playing it from point A to point B, then if it got buffed and the people who are already sweaty in it, it's one of those things like, my suit got buffed. This is amazing, right?
Rejoice.
So I wonder if that's the case here with this, and that's knowing the numbers would be pretty great. The Gapsley also looks pretty as expected. It's around average now, which is great. They buffed the transform mode too as well, and since they buffed the gun, looks good. Moving into the raid stuff, Hammurabi kind of got the same stuff from the gun, and as well, it went up to be a little above average as well. Hammurabi feels pretty good now. I don't know if either of you have played it, but definitely am a fan of that one.
I have. The Hambone is in a good spot now, or better than it was. It couldn't get much worse. It was like kill on spot.
Which is rough, because it was a fucking monster when it first came out, and it just changed so quickly.
I will say
with the damage output got crazy at range, man. Just like everybody could just melt things from across the room. It was
barf it, wow, you committed to melee in this game, fool.
you existed in my freaking 500 meters of murder range. You'd be a poor Hammurabi just flying by trying to get to the support and fucking everybody.
I'm just trying to do my combo, man.
Like we
Yeah.
need like a transform animation, and it lands on the ground, and then just like all of a sudden it goes to a general suit, like
Just a
you're in
shadow
my
of general
kill.
is dropping on it.
You just see like a circle expand out from it. You're in my
You're in
kill
my kill
range.
range. Yes. Oh no.
Was.
And like here's the support.
Probably even get to land.
You're like a bubble. It's like here's the support. He's going to land right here, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and it like his foot taps the kill range bubble, and then it just pauses and goes to the general. But anyway, then they buffed the support, full armor 7th Gundam,
Mm-hmm.
and it went up to above average.
Who would have thought?
But again,
That's because they already had sweat lords making use of that suit the whole
and
time.
that's what I want to know the rate of sortie with this, because I would bet that that's literally just those people playing it still, and of course it went up because
They're already good.
because
And
personally,
they're like, you bought my favorite suit.
yeah, like I think it needs more than that, because I still, when I see them, I still dunk on them. It doesn't matter what I'm playing. It's like, okay, I know exactly what you are. Get wrecked. So I don't know. Again, I wish they would give us all the stats each time, other than when they decide that it's relevant. But and again, oh well, there was the thing. They're taking info from A- to S- instead of B to S- now.
Because you guys are bad. No. They had that one example with the fucking goof, and they're
With
like,
the
you know what?
yeah.
They just
pretty
applied
much.
it to everything. Like, you guys fucking suck. Forget it. These are just
Kinda
for the
realized that,
high end
though.
meta shit.
We realize that our player base likes to walk into walls.
Okay, so
I didn't know you guys like to lick the dirt off of impact site.
I'm a raid man. I love the taste of dirt. Like Magnum might like it too as a support player. Who knows?
Ooferino.
Okay. So now the buffs this time and nerfs. We're starting off with the nerf. The Dryson lost 2,000 health and 1,500 health from levels 1 and 2. And what a surprise. It had well above average win rates at levels 1 and 2. At level 3, I got the level 3 when it came out. I've been playing it. I definitely feel like it doesn't do as much, but that's kind of because everything there just does tons of damage. Doesn't matter what it is, you take damage. And this thing
I feel like that's why they kind of held back on the second level, taking away more health, because they're like, you know what, we still need to slap it on the wrist, but it's gonna die real fast. Some of the shit that gets introduced at that cost.
That's a lot of HP loss too. I think that's how much I took from the DS when they nerfed it too.
Oof.
Yeah, and then that's the same that they took off the aggregate as well. So
both of those are still in the meta. DS, everyone talks about it not being there anymore, but I always see it.
Yeah, and clan matches, it comes back every
It's
time.
like super in there too. And it's just an actual meta competitive suit.
Yeah, it's funny how it's not as good in rated, but it's really good in like clan rank. I don't know if. Wonder how it is closer to like S- if it's seen a lot more kind of thing.
Maybe.
But I don't know.
Dryzen receive 10k
DS.
damage more than other suits, dies the same amount.
The DS.
Yeah, I don't see the DS all that much anymore. But I don't play at that cost a lot nowadays either. But I don't think people will dodge you if you're playing a DS. It's still, I feel like it's still kind of got it.
That is an interesting stat though. It dies the same amount, and it receives it receives more damage and dies the same amount. That's funny. I'm just surprised that it dies the same amount though. I was expecting that to be lower than average. Maybe that is what it needed for a nerf then, actually. I still
because people still target it with extreme prejudice because they fucking hate the Dryzen. Every other streamer you go on their shit, they're either kind of like annoyed by or absolutely like hate it with all the bile in their guts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. I'm like, I'm either playing it. If I had
And
it at 550, I'd be playing it.
right, and like the
And
thing
there's a
the thing with
reason.
that suit is that the reason I think that they killed the health is because people would hit it and they'd have those gotcha moments, right? And they hit it, they do their combo, and it gets up and it's barely got like a quarter of its health gone. So it's like once you have that moment, you're gonna be less encouraged to actually like pursue it unless you just really want it dead.
I rarely combo on Drysons. Like I'll knock them down.
Yeah,
And
like it just
literally
doesn't
go
feel
do
worth it.
something
There's no
else.
payoff, and it's like, why would I do that then?
Yeah. Yeah, the only time it feels good is when you're playing like the O at 650 and you're like
Right, and you're doing like two
combo
weapon wombo combos and shit.
and then you're like, "Oh, you've got like 1,000 health left." Come at me again. Like that's when it feels good. But the thing is you're like destroying suits at that cost. So, yeah, but at definitely the 600. I like it's my meta suit at 600. So I have to try this out now to see how it feels. But I wonder if it's got general privilege in that sense that it, like for raids, getting hit 2,000 health when you're a raid, that is detrimental. But will it be
As
the same for generals? Because, only one person has advantage on you there. So I'm curious if it will be as bad. And will people just kind of fix this by putting some health parts on it? Because I know I don't put health parts. I just put big defense on it, and I laugh because I
right.
have like 50 melee res, and I'm like,
So you shrug out some of your defense, put the health back, and you're pretty much at like a neutral for it.
yeah. Well, I think I've actually got range damage right now, so I could just put that on over top and be like, okay, I'm back to where I was. No big deal. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm back, baby.
same old, because they didn't do any of the damage, so like whatever.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to try. But do you think it'll be what it needed to kind of bring it more in line, or do you think it'll still
It's a
be
good,
strong?
it's a good step, but people are still gonna get in there.
It'll probably be fine. Because like the only time I ever was like, damn, Dryson is just the only time I ever like fucking Drysons is when my friendly Dryson knocks my ass over when I'm doing raid things.
I'm a general. I'm
More
helping.
often than not, yeah. More often than not, whenever like I have problems with it, like I've been killed by a Dryson on the enemy team before. Don't get me wrong, but that's just in the case of what I'm doing. I'm just like, oh shit, a Dryson, go the other way, and that's about it. Like it has good tools. I've had instances where like you've got the Dryson that doesn't have a roll or something, and you go to hit it, and he like somehow during his iframes when he's like recovering from the little swirl on his roll, they let him fire off a single tri blade and he knocks you out of your melee. It's a little frustrating, but like we'll see. I might actually be able to take time to finish the Dryson instead of just, being like, oh, well, there's a rock on the ground. I could try to kick
This
it, but
big
it's gonna
ass
hurt my
boulder.
toe. Yeah,
So
it's
you
gonna
can
stub my
actually
toe, so it's gonna keep going.
you can
Yeah,
actually
so it's gonna
force.
be like blood in the water kind of thing, right? People are like, it's doing damage. Oh shit, good on him now. He's just gonna be in the same spot every other raid is after that.
I did find out though that you can essentially do canceling stuff with its tri blades. So I thought
Oh yeah.
like I wondered how it happened. And I had a clip and I was like, what did I do to cause this? I don't think I did anything. So I just thought it kind of bugged out and shot one and that was it. And I got to fire my other two and I was like, well, that was cool. That won me that fight, yeah. But you can pretty much cancel it. I haven't really practiced, so I don't remember exactly how. But it's one of those. It's either like a weapon swap or something like that that you can do to where you actually shoot one at a time, kind of thing. You can actually get more staggers out of that if you need to, which I think is kind of awesome actually. Because a lot of times you're going to be weapon swapping and doing stuff anyway after you fire them, but you got to do it like it's like one of those frame perfect kind of swaps or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was the weapon swap thing, and it was either that or you could actually just barely tap it to fire just one or something like that, and then you weapon swap. Or so I can't remember if you can actually fire one if you just slowly press to where it only fires one. But it's one of those. But yeah, that was really cool seeing that.
But the dry skin's still going to be a threat, though. Like,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
It's still gonna be strong because it still has the damage. Like the damage didn't get hit at all. It's just one of those things. Can it actually die fast enough so that it's not like, 57% rival win rate over 49%, right?
Mhm. They're
Then
trying to see if it actually shifts at all with
Yeah.
that change.
Then this is okay. Some of it's only for the level 4. That's interesting. But the head special buffer material is now level 3 on the gacha, and the health went up by 1,500 at base level, and at level 4, I believe, it's either level 3 I had up when I saw it, or level 4 was about 18,500. I don't know what the buffer actually is though. I can look that up real quick.
For which one?
The gacha. I don't know if you already have that, but I'm looking
I
at my
don't have
search.
that
Oh,
one. I
gotcha.
hate looking at the Gacha.
Disgusting.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so the level 3 is what I was looking at with 18,500 health. So if it went up by the same, close to 20,000 at 500 cost for that thing.
Yeah, it's 20,000.
And the buffer is, looks like 20. Wait,
It's level 3, wasn't it? That should be 30%.
20%. So I guess it
Oh, is
goes
it 20?
10, 15, 20 for the special head buffer, I guess. But
Yeah. Okay, that's 20.
So that's how they're doing that. Kind of interesting. It got 5 thrust at level 4 and Force Injector 2 at level 4. I thought that was Force Injector 2 at all when I first looked at it. So not as crazy, but level 4 kind of interesting. That would be 500 cost. I think at its base cost now that's actually a lot of health, and with the head buffer being one of the easiest things to hit, that's not bad. It's definitely a scary suit, especially if you're, a raid and you see that hammer fly at you from a mile away. But what do you guys think? Do you think this thing's going to be more meta, especially at lower cost, or do you think it'll even bring it in line at 500?
Maybe in line. Seems like it'll be all right.
Maybe. Like maybe people want to run it more in that role of like anti raid / kind of disruption. Because I mean, if your team's on point, whoever you hit that hammer gun should be like and
sentenced to death.
Yeah, pretty much. So it'd be an interesting role to have.
Yeah, like its role still stands. It's just able to do other stuff on its own better, which is nice.
The other thing, I think it'll be, honestly, I think at 350 and 400, it could actually be a bit better than average, just because of that health increase being so good and the head buffer being pretty decent. But yeah, I feel the same, that it's probably maybe in line at 500. I don't know where 450 will be. That'll be interesting to see. Okay, next, this one is kind of funny actually. They buffed the Comfer. It got 6 turn speed for 66. It gained 1,000 HP at level 1. Nice, cool, and only 500 at level 2. It barely got anything at level 2. With my Dom Barrage, I could pretty much like one missile volley a level 2 like Comfer. So 500
God.
was not saving that at all. They did lower the reload time by 5 seconds on the Sturmfaust. That's kind of cool. And the Giant Bazooka's reload by 3 seconds, giving that 12 seconds. And 25 from the Sturmfaust. I can't remember if I actually use reload parts on that suit or not, but that's kind of nice. That pretty much takes away the parts if I was already using them, and it probably doesn't feel any different. But What do we think of those changes? I like the level 1 health. I think that would be really cool. I don't really see them at 550 or 600 too often, and when I do, they just get chewed up by literally everything.
Mhm.
So I'm
I
surprised.
think
So
the people
unfortunate.
who know how to play the camphor just like play like a gorilla and really know when to go in, because a camphor is pretty much just like I win my 1v1s suit, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like they got that
so-
range combo like moving down to a T.
Yeah, they Terminator walk on you while they're just blasting you. It's like you cannot escape. Stun, switch, stun, bang. You know, so
Pretty
you're
much.
just kind of like you're just sitting there in fear while you in stunned to fear while he just like slowly comes up to you. And
It's like I can kill you so easy, but you won't let me.
Better not stop
Yeah.
stunning me or you're dead.
Literally still has single digits defense unranged, like consistently.
Right.
As much as you might try to pump it up, it's not gonna help that much. Because you should probably be putting that on your fucking legs. But it just has so much damage, and now it can pump out that damage faster and get it back faster.
Yeah. 5 seconds off the reload time of Sternfaust isn't shabby.
That's pretty considerable. Because it already didn't feel that long, considering what you're dealing with the
Yeah.
rest of your cycle.
Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be good. The health will help out. I think that's kind of like the big thing that is going to help the suit out, because they'll be able to sustain longer,
Mhm.
and everything else is kind of like icing, because all the other stuff is already pretty good.
My concern too is level 3 and 4 seem to have the same problems that they explained for level 1 and 2, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
curious why they didn't do anything for
Do it
those.
across the board, yeah.
Because
They should have.
I mean, the reload times, I guess, are going to affect across the board, right? But the
Mhm.
health part, like, maybe, hang on, let's look at suits lost, maybe.
Like, did they bump it up that much per level either? Like, I don't think it really. They should have just did that for all of them.
Okay, so I guess it's still 3.1 to 2.8 at both level 3 and 4, but it was 3.4 and 3.6 from 2.9 and 3.0. But that's why they got the health adjustment and the other ones didn't, because I think they feel that's fair enough. Okay. So my guess is the win rate is going to go up to like maybe 49, somewhere in the 49% if it goes up for level 3 and 4, but that's it. I still feel it's going to be probably a little bit too low. Maybe the rival win rate might go up enough to balance it out, but yeah, I don't see it going up much just from those reload times. Like a lot of times, if you're having to reload that suit, you're probably already going to be dead.
Yeah, like you should either be running or just hoping you can get a good swipe on somebody.
Yeah, because at that point you're waiting for everything to come back, or maybe trying to help a teammate with a shotgun in a melee, and that's it.
Right. Like, hopefully you've already done your damage and he didn't whiff and just had to sit there looking stupid. Like, oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else with the comfort?
No. Glad they touched on it, though. It definitely
Okay, cut.
needed some tweaks.
And here's another one that needed some tweaks: the G-Line Standard, because it's definitely been falling out. You see it every now and then, but it you can definitely feel it. Pretty much, it was like the biggest counter to the flight, like the Goof flight and the Goof test. But other than that, it didn't have too big of a presence in things. But they buffed the beam rifle by 100 damage. They upped its health by 1,000 at all levels, and they increased the combat resistance correction, which I think is melee, to 17 from 14, and they increased the melee damage from 20 to 24. Then we have what is this? Reduced the rigid time after using weapons for the Gatling Smashers, which I think is that, once you stop firing, you can start moving again. So you're not standing in place for too long after you're done. That's always a nice quality of life change. As I was talking about with the beam rifle for the SML. Please do it next month, please. Yeah. Any other thoughts on the G line?
They made some good changes to it. I think reducing the rigidity, as they put it, after using the Gatling Smashers was a good change for the suit itself.
I feel like there's still some people vibrating in the background, hoping that like you can move with it, and it's like, nah, this is good enough.
I was just about to say, like, they should just let you move and shoot them. Because like, what makes the Gatling Smashers so powerful to where like you need to stand still? The fucking GM3 can fire missiles and move. Like,
right?
What's
Did it feel powerful when it first came out? Like, did they seem considerable at the time, or was it just kind of something that like fell flat in terms of its presence?
The sound was overpowered. It sounded great. The damage was trash. But I mean, it's more of a follow-up thing, or if you were too far away. If you were close enough, literally doing everything else was more damage. But other than that, yeah.
I mean, the other thing with that suit is that literally everything else is initiating the bugga, like everything else. And other suits did that and still do it better as we get more suits at those costs. So upping the damage on its other weapons was also a nice call, I think. It's nice that they didn't just like address the smashers because it's like the highlight of the suit. Like the rest needed to be better too.
Yeah. And I guess it just kind of comes down to this, whether or not the changes made the suit comparable to the GM3. It's just like when it first came out, and I compared it to the GM3, and I kind of personally still think the GM3 has a bit more leverage over the standard, but I can also see where like it's kind of a toss up for people who want to play it between the two in regards to play style, like do one or the other. Although I think the GM3 has a tighter hitbox, which isn't irrelevant.
Tighter while also having, I guess, it's a standard, but it's a bigger shield too.
So we'll see. I could see us seeing more of it for sure, because there's still those people like the G-line standards, like the normal general suit, but because it has the Gatling Smashers on it, the MG boys can run it and feel like they're helping because they can act like they're a frontliner, but they're really just sitting in the back Gatling smashing things. Like the G-line dudes who like stun you with their beam rifle, and instead of going for a melee follow-up, they start Gatling smashing you for some reason, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Or like you're playing support and you get shot by
I don't like it.
you're playing support and you get staggered by the G line, and then you just start Gatling smashing. It's like, these trades aren't going to work for you, bud.
Okay, no, now that one, I'm like, at that point, I'm like, oh, you're approaching me.
You're approaching me.
Yeah, pretty much. I see you have chosen death.
Like, what are you even doing, man? I'm about to just beam you and missile you to death. The Dom Barrage. Are you sure?
You know what that is? That's that story I'd hope that they can beat the meta, right? And that's everything isn't just initiating the bunga. It's like, but I can just shoot things.
I mean, again, it
just I still think it's stupid, right? Like, if we're talking about the idea of us being grunts as opposed to new types, there should be a little bit more weight on range. And like High Cost has kind of done that, and it's funny to hear people complain about it because you can get hit out of shit so easy when you commit. But like, if you're being real, half of those fights really turn into who's gonna eat first, and are they gonna just get shot to death trying to get on somebody?
Pretty much. But yeah, if nothing else for the G-Line standard, let's go ahead and hit the Pell Rider Doulahan in the raid section. It got nerfed. Yesterday I was like, yeah, I can see it. It definitely needed a nerf.
And everybody rioted.
But I still think the health is fine. But the damage control, I kind of can feel. Yep, it definitely feels a bit oof. So now
Well, it's like what we were It's like we were saying yesterday, right? Like, both of those are worthy of addressing. Doing both of them at once was a little bit much. But at the same time, that totally goes with my brand of do the most and then just reel it back later. It's just a matter of whether or not this is going to give them the result that they want going forward.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see both the sortie rate and everything else, because here was the main problem. It had a sortie rate of 35%, but also had a rival win rate of 61%, and that's over a 48% average. So that's a huge rival win rate, and almost a 6% at 5.9% higher than the average win rate, higher than average damage, and less mobile suit losses. It was across the board the best, and when I was getting closer or even in A+, and I would be in A+ games or S- games, if you weren't playing the Doulahan, they would dodge. They'd be like, are you all right? If you swap to a raid.
Oh yeah, the front line's gonna be rough or whatever. Just
yeah,
like,
they'd be like, are you all right?
Is he a new type? Oh.
Yeah. As soon as you swap to anything but the Doulahan, like they would be like, nobody would have it.
I feel like recently it hasn't been that bad just because of other entries. People have actually been getting in there with the Red Rider and a couple other things. But like the Doulahan.
Yeah, the Red Rider's nice, but anything else pretty much was just like, are you all right? But yeah, 35%, that's actually pretty huge.
So, would it be like extreme for me to say like if they have a suit that is actually good, and because of that a lot of people play it, is that like a problem with the other raids at that cost, or is it because the Doulahan's too strong? Because I'm kind of
seems the answer is that it's too strong.
I'm personally of the opinion that the other raids need to be brought up to snuff. Like, I think the Doulahan is what the guard custom should have been. Because I mean, their reasoning for taking away damage control is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, because you have a thing that gives you a bigger hitbox, which makes it easier for you to have build up stagger. We're taking away the thing that makes you having that shield like
not as much of a problem. The funny thing is that people were talking about taking away shield health specifically for that. It's like you have to do it to the guard custom too. It literally has the same shield. You're not gonna do it for one and not the other. Otherwise, you're just admitting that the guard custom fucking blows. If anything, they should touch up on half of those other suits at that cost, and hopefully, like, to be honest, that probably should have been more part of the raid overhaul recently, and they kind of fucked up by not touching on that more. But hopefully they do more in the future with it.
So what they're saying though with the damage control is that you can't, essentially by having the shield, it blocks the stagger, and then the damage control helps prevent you then getting a build up afterwards. But I mean, doesn't the guard custom have the exact same thing? And it doesn't have a problem.
I mean, it has a problem, but people hardly ever run it. So
it does. I think the guard custom gets stopped in his tracks too much, which to me,
if anything, that thing should have damage control because it has an even stumpier melee, and should probably be leaning on that shield more. Like it needs to be able to plane itself down and DACA people because it just doesn't have the other stuff to respond unless it's playing chicken.
It doesn't have the OP problem though, is what I was saying. So yeah, it does have a problem. It has a problem of being weak.
Of being a garbage suit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, this fixed the problems. Like, it took what was good with the G-Line Assault, the GM Guard Custom, and the what's the other one? There's a third one there. It pretty much took all their weaknesses and just fixed it. The G-Line Light's another one.
Yeah, guard custom shoulder cannons used to be the cancer for supports. Which is true. Like, it's one of the first times that we had shoulder cannons that were, like, really nasty. But that, like, negates, like, half of the other shit on the suit, just hoping that you can zoom in get that consecutive stun, and then just stab people
I don't
while
remember
having
the
this
guard
big
custom
old
ever
board in
having.
your arm.
The guard custom never even had its time in the spotlight because it freaks for running rampant and just shit all over you.
Yeah, they just had the
pretty
no
much.
fun gun. Well, that was
Right.
one of the things that highlighted how shitty freaks were, right? And by shitty, I mean they were busted because they just had the no fun gun, and you could just smack someone's shield and then do the knockdown and then just get their bad side.
And honestly, I think the only reason that the Dullahan isn't in such a good spot of it is because nobody runs shotguns anymore. You know,
Mhm.
like if we had teams,
Well, I mean,
like
I feel like
P3
it wasn't in a
freaks
good spot before anyway, just because people, again, much like the Dryzen, it just had people focusing it with extreme prejudice.
well, shotguns.
Like anything that it gets away with is getting away with while being hailed with bullets and countered to death by like a billion people that see it and want it dead.
Yeah, pretty much. But also with the shotgun thing too, the GM Guard custom at this cost is level 3. So 2 levels below, yeah, I mean you still see the shotguns at its base cost.
Mhm.
Because at that point, and then you also have like the Go VD that has a heat rod that's gonna wreck your face. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that still destroy the Guard custom. And it's kind of funny that it almost feels better to play the 400 cost Guard custom than it does the 300 cost. And that was even more back in the day. Because at this point, I mean, I guess you would have BD3s, I guess. Or, yeah, BD3s that would missile you to get that stagger off. But yeah, as soon as like the Garibaldi Alpha kind of came into the meta, it was like, okay, cool, I got a shield, let's go, let's dance. And then you had the flight test, the gun cannon heavy, like all those that started coming in. Hellrider Cavalry, they don't really have the easiest build-ups. Some of them do, but they're not, you know. Yeah, 4 shots with that missile launcher on your Gatling gun. And if you miss with the cavalry, then whoops. Better build up some other way.
Yeah, just bust out that mech and get that beam out. Just go walk around and dock and just cross your fingers. I mean, honestly, beyond all that, it still has the range game with the javelin, right? This is gonna poke you out of shit.
But yeah, I do agree.
And good.
I do agree. I think it's more of a problem of they need to bring everything else up rather than because there's a lot of those in there that I was just looking at. That's a big list at 400 of raids, and I don't even know if I have them all. And
there's a lot of shit at 400 nowadays. Like it's
I want to say
clusterfuck.
too, like out of those suits, how many of them are new? You know, like is the Dullahan the newest suit, and because it comes out in a time where they're pushing those power levels, Red Rider.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would need to look at a list.
No, but that's exactly all of those that I looked at that I saw. I don't have the Red Rider, but everything that I had there is a older suit for sure.
It's like the old folks' home for suits at this point. That's what that cost is.
Yeah, it's kind of rip.
450 is like as low as they'll go for some of them, or at least most of them.
Who knows? Maybe it's a preempt to get ready for the coming of the raid army when the when the like disadvantageous matchup buffs go in or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about that now too, real quick. They mentioned that in the newsletter that they put out. They're not going to do that this month, and maybe next month. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, for the composition, or whatever.
Yeah, they're not putting that. They didn't put that in this month, and they might be doing it next month. They're still balancing and figuring that out. So.
Oh god. I mean, at least they're still considering it, but hopefully it doesn't turn into a ranked situation where they're like, oh yeah, we couldn't do it, so we're just not gonna.
Yeah. So. Okay, so the next one, if we don't have anything else with the Dullahan, is
I'm salty. They gave it the fucking Gunner Gundam treatment. Screw you, BB. Make your other suits good.
It's true.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Gunner Gundam needs to get.
When you say Gunner Gundam,
Gunner
Gundam, I could definitely. I mean, I didn't disagree with you in the first place, but I
It's
could
a
definitely
prime
agree and
example.
shake hands with a raid player when that's brought up for sure. No,
So I
but for
do
real
think
though.
that the Dualahan's way better than a Gunner Gundam in that regard, but like, you know,
It's like one of those
Gunner
memes
rate's
where like
better.
people are clasping hands or whatever. Gunner Gundam.
I just want the Gunner Gundam sympathist to join the Dualahan side, so I'm just invoking its name,
What?
you know?
What is it?
We should both be clapping each other better.
Exactly. You good, Magnum?
Yeah. Do you see? You see? What?
Oh, it's a puppo. That's a dog.
What?
No.
Okay. Anyway, dog aggro. Random dog aggro.
I saw like a little bit of dog, but
Yeah.
just like the top of its head.
Yeah. Let me do this real quick. I'm sure it's gonna ruin it.
Yeah, no.
Magnum can't pan a camera down too much because he's a member of Team No Pants secretly.
Come on, right here. Come on.
No.
Dog.
Oh. No.
Come on.
Didn't
Hey,
feel like it.
Doggy dog. Dog dog.
come on. Come on.
Bow. Wow.
Okay, he's already had his fun. He already climbed
Everyone
up. He
getting-
already climbed up once.
This guy had my bonus son here. I ain't worried about it no more.
He's like, yeah, I'm done. We already did that. Moving on. I'm laying down. But anyway, but yeah, the what we got next? What we got next? The Gaz-L. Ooh. So
That's not supposed to be a downswing from that guy.
Oof. I got all the
1,000.
adjustments, by the way.
You got what? Oh, the stagger stuff.
Well, yeah, all the changes that they made ready.
So the 1,000 to the health, the charge reduced for its heat lance attack by 0.5 seconds, so it's now a 2-second charge. That is terrifying. Heat rate improved to 34% instead of 45 for its shoulder beam cannon ×2, and they increased the accumulated value of stagger. And then the large beam saber level 2 power increase from 2,100 to 2,200. Yeah, if you wanna.
So they gave it a nice, tasty plus 30% to its stagger value on the cannons. It was 5% before. Now it's 35 times 2. So you get to stagger people out the cannons now instead of just crying. You, like you said, in 2 seconds. The cannons would take less heat. They mentioned that. And honestly, that's like the big. I think that's a big like stat thing that wasn't pointed out in the patch note. Was just what the actual increase was. So 2 hits does 70, and you fire off a lot more too. So it should be easier for you to hit people.
How do you guys feel about the general one? Because I definitely felt the raid one needed something a little bit more, but
I personally, everything else is really cool in my opinion. I don't own the blue one, so I can like go off of what I've seen when I fought against it. I personally thought it was strange that the general had access to a good anti-maneuver armor stun, but the raid only had like the single option, especially with, in my opinion, like raids. Generals kind of have the somewhat of a frontliney kind of pack thing going on where they've always kind of got that. They should kind of have like some wingman-y kind of stuff going on, but you know, they're generally like maintain the front with the others or reposition to help somebody else. But they're, unless you're just in the 1v1 scenario, which can happen pretty often, you're kind of in like a pseudo, like we'll just say like your general's like in a pseudo 1.5 v whatever, depending on like what they're trying to do, I feel like. And then you have a raid who by nature for the most part is kind of off on the sides doing kind of like a side thing. Like they're still helping out in the fight, but they're doing that by trying to reposition so they can reach the general, which puts them in a more exposed spot. And by them giving the extra stun to the raid, you have a better time, you have an easier time of doing your job. And if somebody else comes at you, because you probably use your stun when you're attacking a support. So if one of the generals backs off immediately, you're pretty much just down to trying to dodge. But now in this case, you actually have a secondary stun to like help you out. Like, so maybe you stun and then downswing the support. Now you can use your cannons to try and fight off the general that disengaged to do something about you, rather than having to like buy time until your beam gun is back up or something, which I think is pretty big for the raid itself.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool actually.
How did he hit me? The
Yeah, the
lies.
general. I still think both of them kind of. I'm curious to know what the stats of the general is too, because I feel like both of them kind of underperform either way. But
I
I mean, with these buffs though, I mean these look pretty good, and so I wonder if like the raid's definitely the better version of the two now, in a sense, as far
Well,
as
we were talking about that a little bit actually in chat, and I can give you the stats of the two. I'll just go off of one of the levels, 500 for instance. So they both had the same HP now at 16,500. The general has better defensive stats.
Wait,
So
it's
what's up?
16,500 or 17,500? Because now the L
According to,
has 17,500.
it
Hmm.
could just be that the top part's not updated, but according to this, it's saying that they both have 16. Let me scroll back down. Let us see if they just didn't update it. Okay, so it's haven't updated the top part. Okay, so 17,500 for the rage. You're right. They just haven't updated the chart itself. Then 16,500. And the defenses starting from ammo and going down. The raid is at 13. The general has 22 in ammo, or live ammo resist or whatever. Beam resist is 13 for the raid. The general has 22. The melee resist is 28 for the raid, whereas this general has 10. As far as the modifiers go, the shooting range damage modifier is 5 for the raid, 30 for the general, and the melee combat modifier is 45 for the raid, where it's 20 for the general. They both have the same speed stats, although the raid has melee priority level 3 over level 2, which is a pretty big deal. The interestingly enough, and it probably evens out or is still more favored to raid, but the blue actually has a better damage modifier on the second hit with its twin lancer compared to the raid.
Yeah.
Raid is 70% and then 49 on the third hit of your damage dealt, whereas the general version has 80. But the other modifiers for consecutive hits are the same for both suits, where it's 115 and 25. Downswing modifier, or go ahead.
I think that's too, because that's been a conversation a lot in chat because I'm like, hey, I should play this thing, and then I didn't really play it till yesterday was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And like for the blue though, which I didn't have the weapon till last night either when I decided to try one roll on the thing, so I guess I got it now and I can try it. But I was just using the lance, and it just felt kind of awkward with the lance because it's like it does a bit more damage than what the 2 hits would do in just the 1 hit, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I'd probably prefer the 2 hits and then swap and do combo stuff.
Just do
with it.
striker stuff.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I think that's probably the better way to play the general version is with that, because you don't have the charge Heat Lance attack that the raid does. And yeah, I can agree with that now after trying it, because it was like, well, this is cool. I knocked over Emblem in the first game, but oops.
Well, I think people fall into the trap of it too much too. Like, the good thing about the raid is that like its damage output is solid without having to use that heavy attack.
Yeah.
So
And now it's actually better because they upped the damage on the secondary saber, so you can do striker stuff even a bit more reliably now, which is nice.
But if you're going to use
And
the
also,
lance, I feel like you're going to want the charged attack rather than just using it normally.
The charge attack is very like vulture-y, kind of advantageous sort of thing, or unless you really want to make a big intro and just hope you don't get countered.
sorry, I was looking through the stats fast, but the raid has 10 more boosting speed than the general does.
That makes sense.
Chat was quick to remind me, but so the modifiers are different for the suits. The blue version has actually has a higher damage modifier on its downswing at the lance compared to the raid with the normal attacks. It's got a 150 downswing modifier, whereas the raid has 140. But again, the stats are different, so you get better returns off of the general or the raid rather. But the saber is the same at 175 and 130. So like, it's kind of interesting. It kind of just seems like it comes down to like just what role I feel like you want to be in, and you know, another big thing, the blue has a double dodge roll, whereas the raid does not. So you can get out of stuff more, but I kind of feel like
I can't remember if I used that.
no, what?
I can't remember if I used that actually. I'm like, tired. Was I using it wrong the entire time? Oh no. But yeah.
But for that one, outside of like just having the high base damage modifier, which is super relevant in clan matches, and I mean in normal matches too, to be honest, it kind of just comes down to like you honestly could probably just be playing the bald guy. Melee priority 3 is so relevant, like it hurts.
Yeah.
But I guess it comes down to this though, and it could be an extreme example. Is what I said earlier when we were talking about if the raid is just better than a general all around. Like, and this might even be a good way to ask the question, but like, if you think if it seems like the raid is in a better spot now, do you think a general team that is three Gauze R's, yeah, 3 Gauze R's and a Gauze L, and then like I don't know, Mudrock or an MLRS or something, versus a team that is 4 Gauze L's and the same support? Do you think like because the raid, if the raid feels better than a general, and so if they were like if they were like essentially replace those slots with what seems to be the better suit, do you think the raid team has a better fight in that case? Because if like the raid's better than the general, but maybe that's a bad example
Well, I mean,
because you know,
still
Statistically,
type
maybe,
advantage,
but like typing and
without type advantage,
behavioral wise, no.
if you took away type advantage, then maybe. But
Mhm.
most likely, yeah, I'd probably say yes. But with type advantage, no.
No.
so I don't know.
Not to
It's
mention,
just
it'd just be a bunch of idiots fucking clamoring for the big geet.
I guess
Like, I don't
right.
think they behave well together at all.
I guess
like
what
that's
I
just a
was-
behavioral thing, though.
I guess what I was getting at, if you like the Gazelle or the Gazar playstyle, then you probably want to do the L because it feels better as to raids than the general
That's not
one
bad.
feels to generals, I guess is what I mean.
Sure. And I also brought up the point that like the other one just being a general, like having that general classification is like a boon for your suit. Like we don't talk about raid tax and support tax. Like we kind of like poke fun at it, but it's fucking real.
It's
Like,
real.
just the fact that it's a
It really
general.
is.
I thought we weren't joking.
I mean, we
we
weren't
say
really
it enough
joking,
that we're not.
but like
I'm just trying to make it clear, just in case people thought.
I'm being for realsies.
But it being a general is a big deal.
I mean, we're memeing on it, but we're definitely not like, yeah.
Like when we found out about the shoulder cannon thing in the first place, that was pretty much just another. We thought it was just another raid tax thing. Like it's just so embedded in our brain.
Yeah, right. Well, and then like look at the support tax that the Zero Shiki Type 2 had to pay.
Also didn't stay very prominent. Like, I see one or two, and some people got cheeky and tried to bring it out for on Brawl, but like...
I have fun in it, but it's
Fun
definitely
and
a
meta
really
are two
fun
very
scene to
different
play.
things.
Exactly. Like,
There's
I
no
like it.
rainbow
I'm glad
no
I got
matter
it. I really wanted the 550 instead of the 600, and yeah, I'll play it every now and then just because it's the fun level outweighs, wanting to sweat. But yeah. But yeah, that's another one.
It's spelled meta with fun.
Actually, you know what I want? I want a general GBO2 now. That'll be the best version of the GBO2.
Yeah.
That's the one that has the
Will be,
nuke.
The
Like,
normal
I'd be a little bit more concerned about, I swear to God, dude. If this dude is getting him away, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm helping. Oh, but yeah, the general one will be the one that has the nuke. No big deal.
Oh my God, that'd be insane.
It'll be a knee stagger.
It just knee staggers the
plateau.
entire map.
It just probably power blocks out of its cannon.
But anyway, if nothing else with the Gaz L, we can go ahead and talk about the Gundam Unit 5 BST.
BST.
Nothing too crazy here, but they did do a little bit of a 10% high speed movement buff, so 225 now. This is actually kind of a big deal. Quality of life, moving left, right, and backwards. Yay! Is that
That's
now?
very specific. It's interesting that they're considering it in essentially like an 8-way run, because normally it's strafing or like backwards movement, but this is legitimately back diagonal.
Yeah.
For both directions.
So do you have the numbers on that? Do they actually have numbers on that? I can't remember.
They kind of do, but it translates weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it just says movement speed increased when moving backwards, left, and right. I would assume it's akin to the Akazaku, possibly, because you know how it has 100% like in all directions.
Yeah.
It's probably something along those lines, but maybe not to that extent. But I don't know exactly what it is.
But okay. So, but that's always a cool quality of life buff. Like that made the test tropical dom thing really awesome. Changing that, especially Scooty suits, when they change that, it's a big deal. Then they increased the level 2 power of the beam sabers by 80, giving it 2600, which is kind of cool. The yeah, that thing is awesome with its swings, with how wide they are. Curious how this thing would actually do a little bit in, maybe not the ground version as much, because either way, I mean, you still can get in there, but I'd really want to see this thing actually in the space Brawl kind of situation. Knocking over everybody. Let's go. Because typically every time I downswing, I at least knock over one, maybe two teammates, no matter what. Because swing range
Speaking
is
of Red
ridiculous.
Gundam, like shortly after I got offline, you guys were still doing the Brawl matchups, and I was watching, and I'd hosted chat, so I had a stream up. But like you guys were in Mountain Magnum, and you were over there too, Magnum, because like Chad was going over to fight you or something, and they were over by like it's a point in the middle off to the side over by the cliff.
Yeah.
But like on the A side, there was just a unit 5 over there, just crouching, gatling at like both of you while you were just duking it out, and nobody was stopping him. I was like, this dude's R2 button is stuck. And he's getting away with it, man. Like, God.
What was I in? Do you remember what I was in? I think that's the time that I was playing a general. I think that's what happened. I was just like, well, I can't really do anything with this. I'm doing general life.
I think
right
you
now.
were, because I believe I want to say that Chad was in the Tristan or something.
Yeah, he was in the Tristan on that one. I just can't remember what I was. Oh,
I think you were in the Zeku. Dragon said
yeah,
Zeku.
Zeku. That's what it was. Because I was gatling him back. I was like, I knew I was shooting him with something that had a machine gun back. But like, yeah. So that was the problem with that. Is like the Zeku is cool. I like it in ace match. I love the Zeku in ace match because I can whittle people down, really play as a team player, and then kind of capitalize on that. But yeah, as far as Brawl, Zeku not the best. But yeah, that was hilarious though with the Unit 5. I'm like, somebody get this man! Come on, I can't kill him instantly. Someone, Chad, go after him. Help!
Shoot this dude in the face, please.
Um,
But I digress. Sorry, go ahead. I just remembered that because we were talking about the gun to Unit 5. I was like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah, Chad was in his Tristan
he's in the
cow.
Tristan.
Yeah, he was in the cow Tristan. Let's see. Then we have the Desert Gelgu gaining maneuver armor level 2 at all levels. The focusing has been shortened. I didn't know it was this bad. On the beam rifle to 4 seconds from 5. And
Dude, beam rifles, man. They all have
isn't all Gelgu beam
crappy
rifles
charge
5?
times.
I thought it was 4. I wanted to say I thought it was 4. I keep forgetting. Ugh. And then the armed buster, 300 damage, and this is affected at all levels. Reduced
I like
blurring
that, but I like
when
the other
firing.
parts of it better.
Reduced blurring when firing while moving, and reduced blurring when firing during a jump. What does that actually mean?
So
blurring?
good.
I know we figured it out before.
Do you use the suit often? Have you ever been like running at somebody and like you fire your cannon and it fucking goes off?
Oh, that! Oh my gosh, I hate
Yeah.
when that happens, dude. Oh my.
So initially I thought it was because it fires from the right to the left to meet the reticle, and that was already weird. But yeah, sometimes it just goes wherever it wants.
Okay, so
like I was watching a video submission from Koraz one time where he was in a Desert Gogu on impact site, and this dude shot himself in the foot with that gun. Because he was walking towards somebody, and that thing just went like, nope! How?
wait, did he actually knee stagger himself?
Yes. It was crazy. I was like, who hit you? I was like, wait, that was you. It was ridiculous. Either that, it was crazy, man.
Wow,
that gun
that
was
is
silly. The recoil was crazy, or whatever.
I want to see that clip. Like,
the blur.
I will pay money to see that clip, dude. Like, what? That is amazing. So luckily that is fixed, and then the damage is up. That's one of the things I feel like this suit needs a little bit more damage, and I think that's pretty nice because that's definitely in the combo.
That helps. The Gogu beam rifle had a 4.5 second charge time.
Okay.
So it's faster. It was slower than the Gogu beam rifle. It was even worse.
But yeah. But yeah, any other thoughts on the desert? I think this thing is actually really good in Brawl. I'm a fan of it in Brawl, especially with these changes.
Mm-hmm.
It has the stuff it needs to be able to gimp things and get out of there.
It definitely needed maneuver armor too, for sure.
Oh my god, yeah.
For sure.
So that's a good change.
I mean, as much as I hate to say it, like anti-stealth made it hard to play the suit in general, but because people like to play the Isaac, it makes it harder to do your job just because they just take your picture and all the generals bully you. So being able to have more output and resist a little bit better is definitely a nice thing to have.
Okay, so next on the list, we have the GBO2 Beam Bazooka! Let's go! So, the Beam Bazooka actually got buffed, and it technically got hit here. Well, not hit, but buffed as well here. And the turn rate, though, went up by 9 for 54 turn rate. I didn't realize it was that slow. So...
Oh, it's slow.
It's
fucking
maybe it's because I played the MLRS, so when I go from that to this, I'm like, man, I turn so much.
Like that's the first thing I fucking did that I'd see is slap a fucking turn part on it. Like this bitch is way too slow.
But then it has offense system level 1 now, so you gain pretty much the melee benefits of not getting staggered, which is fantastic. Let's go, dude. And then it has the Beam Bazooka, went up from 80% stagger ratio to 90% for just a normal shot, and then from 85 to 95 when you full charge it. And the reason why I know that is we looked that up last night because I was like, can you still shoot down the Zero Shiki Type 2 with just a normal shot? And then found that out, yes, and now you can do it even more. Which is, it's kind of cool though. So if you don't stagger something with your shot and you hit a shield, you just put a couple of Vulcans into something and no big deal.
I don't think that's the reason they changed it, but according to the wiki, the unfocused stagger was 10% and the focus stagger was 35.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure. I mean,
Interesting.
I didn't test the beam bazooka against those suits, but
Okay.
and I can't remember
I was
what we
told
said.
in,
We talked about it.
I was told in chat that it was 80%, but I have also been shot out of the sky with the Zero Shiki. I wanted to remember with it, so maybe it was build up, but yeah, after that. So if the wiki on there is saying before was 10 and 35, then maybe. I wonder if it went like 10 to 35 and then they upped it before. I can't remember if they upped it before in the previous update. I know they upped the damage on the beam bazooka significantly the last time they buffed
There's
it.
no adjustment to the.
It feels like it doesn't really do a lot of melee
stagger.
either. Like sometimes when I'm getting on stuff, because I was trying to do it in Brawl, and like I would get combos, and it's just like, man, this is not connecting for a lot. Like, oof.
Well, they buffed the downswing. And what are those numbers? I didn't look up that.
It got increased by 5% per hit. So if you have above 10% more damage, so it's 90 now instead of 85. To be exact.
So yeah, that's pretty significant. I feel like one of the problems with it is, I think you've said this, but you have a problem kind of finishing your plate when you find that support actually knock them down and stuff. That is one of the big problems with that suit. I normally end up just, trying to create a disturbance and, get everybody's attention to blow my shield up, and then if I get a kill, cool. And then if not, then I've at least, messed with them a bit.
Well, I think the GBO2 is one of those suits where, like, because it has a humongous beam saber and stuff like that, they really want you to lean on your combos. Because even if you like rush somebody down and you get an awkward angle, you can just use like a side or something like that to kind of still get them, and then just use that time while they're staggered from the hit to reposition and then follow up. So like, I think they wanted you to do that, but the problem is that they're the people in the match, and sometimes when you get in there, you hear the mines in the background. Mine.
Yeah.
Granted, I think when the GBO2 first came out, it was disgustingly mean, but it's just the power.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the first suits with like the aerial thing, so it was scooting all over the place and just dancing on people's graves, like because people didn't know how to deal with that shield, like.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Yeah, with
Like
even
literally, you
Invisible
just had to
Arrest.
send your GPO1 to go gato at it and just hope that they could get the downswing. That's how people learned about how gross that downswing was, because they had to deal with the GPO2s like immediately.
And the thing too with the GPO2, I just remember I had it on an alt, and I was just like, I kind of want to play Ray today, and I want to win. Well, time to play my alt. Let's go. Silly everything. Watch me destroy oh, two generals versus me? What is this? No big deal. I'm just going to knock this one down. Well, now I just killed two generals in a raid suit.
Personnel.
Like I love that thing on release, and then it kind of got power creeped hard just a little bit. But yeah.
Try to bring it out for nostalgia's sake and just get fucking rolled like, man.
Yeah, kind of close to that. I still do pretty good just because I'm used to the shield, so my shield always gets blown up, but it always gets blown up now. Like, and sometimes I might get a kill. So before it was like it got blown up and I got a kill. This time it's like, well, now I might trade one for none. But yeah, but the also I'm kind of reading here the previous adjustment, we focused on the power and range. So the stagger accumulation value has been increased to make it easier to stagger. Accumulation value, okay, has been increased. Yeah, you're saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like a weird translation thing. But yeah, some of them just like repeat. I saw that earlier.
Yeah, I was kind of curious if they had any other random thing in there that they were talking about with it. But yeah, it's really cool. I can't wait to try it out some more. Definitely cool to see one of my favorite suits get buffed. I love the GBO2 in all forms. So let's go.
Let me ask you this. This is brought up in chat. Do you think they should make the full charge do a knee stagger?
Yes. For 8
I
seconds.
thought originally when they were talking about it that's what they wanted. Like it would stun on neutral and then knee stagger on charge. I mean, shit,
I don't
the
know, I feel
regular
like-
Skure cannon fucking knocks people over. Like, that's what that thing's supposed to fucking be, so fuck it.
Right. I kind of, I mean, I thought it was pretty, to me, it seemed like it was pretty clear they just wanted to penetrate. Because I feel like that was one of like the big features of the suit when it first came out.
Well, yeah.
Hmm.
But I feel like at this point, that's, there's supports that full charge a lot faster that also penetrate at that cost. And knee stagger.
Shit, their generals fucking
And
DeWatch custom.
Yeah, there you go. And so, like, I mean, at this point, power creep, let's just give it penetrate and knee stagger, sure. Like, if you're running away from a general that long to charge that just to save yourself, then you deserve it, right?
Mm.
So, because I mean, literally one level higher than that, then it's level 1 is the Rick Diaz 2 that can full charge in like what is it, 3 seconds, 3.5,
Something like that. You charge up fast, and it's a knee stagger, man.
Yeah, it's a knee stagger, and it penetrates literally 50 points higher. So yeah, for 8 seconds, let it do the same thing 50 points lower. I mean, come on. I might have a little bias too toward the suit, but at the same time, I'm also a support player, so I can't let it get too much, but I definitely want it to be better.
I think if they added that to it, it would revive the suit like real fast. Like it's such a strong thing to have.
But
yeah, DS2 is a good comparison though.
But yeah, any other thoughts on the GBO2 beam bazooka?
Good that they're touching on it. Do more in the future.
It's probably not that much better.
It's
you have a better fight you have a better fight against the Dovin Wolf now though.
I'll be playing it more. Yes. But then we have the full armor Gundam Type B getting interesting buffs.
This is the surprising one.
Save it, but I'll take it. The health, it got almost no health. 500 at all levels. Woo.
Once a snack, always a snack.
High performance radar is now level 3. Cool. At all levels. Then triple beam rifle, it gained 50 range. Okay, that's kind of cool. The multi-tube missile launcher. This and the next one is the big actual buffs. But what is the value on the accumulated stagger? And are you pulling that up, or do you got it?
I've got it up.
Okay.
I just noticed that Gustav was muted. He must have a train going through like I do.
Oh, nah, I was just talking to Asian about something because we were in a match together.
Okay, I think the train's gone.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're past the horn range. Yeah, so
Oh, no.
So we were talking about the stagger increase, right? It's 5% on the multiple missile launcher per missile. So it's 10 now instead of 5.
Okay. So how many does it shoot again?
Hold
20,
on a second,
right?
let me scroll up. Probably. Here it is. Yeah, so it's got a 20 round clip.
Okay, so you could actually, yeah, that's 2 times 1 clip, technically. That's pretty cool. And they fire really fast. That's actually interesting. I need to look at this thing again now. After that value, I mean, that was the big thing. Was what was the value? Is it good enough with that value? Because
We have
the
to hit with
large,
half.
yeah. I mean, you vomit them out so fast. It's like, okay, there we go. Time to reload. So it's really quick. The problem is you, even though it has ASL, it kind of misses a lot. So
You really gotta go bullet hell mode and just hope that you can cover enough area while they hit stuff.
pretty much. But then the large missile launcher. I try to say that all in one word.
Chungus rocket.
Yes. It gained 300 damage at all levels, at now being 2,500 at level 1. So first they buffed its
my
speed,
Chungus Buster.
so it actually feels good now to shoot as far as speed goes. But it still felt kind of bad, because it would still clip things for some reason. Well, they improved it to make it harder for it to hit objects on the map. So I guess it has lower object clip box, hitbox things.
It just awkwardly spawns from the middle of your mobile suit.
And then
You know what?
the
Fine. I'll take
yeah,
that.
whatever. Fuck it.
Center all the weapons. Let's go. Downtime.
yes. And then they expanded the explosion range when landing. So I don't know how big of a before and after like splash radius this thing had, but I definitely want to go into a room now and test like how big of a explosion radius it is right now and what it has. So
yeah, that will be interesting because it felt like it was pretty big when it first came out. So it's pretty neat that it's even larger.
yeah. So I definitely want to check that out and play this suit again now, especially knowing the stagger ratio, because that is a huge deal. So yeah, I'm definitely trying the Type B. Now please buff the normal full armor. Please. But yeah. Anything else?
Yes, buff them so I can play against them.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Good.
Make the slow moving supports with no shield and low HP better. BB Studios. Yes. Yes.
The fight that I yearn for.
Oh yeah, this thing has the dual beam saber shield thing.
That the Gundam Mark III doesn't
Yeah,
get
that
to
the
have as a
Mark
general,
III
by the way.
could
Very
have.
strange.
Like what? Okay. Anyway,
It
anything-
makes no sense. Get that thing Vulcans.
anything? Yes. Anything else with the Type B?
Really, that they
I
touched
think
it.
you
Actually, I
take the-
wonder how considerable that radar buff is actually, because it also has link, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I can actually like share that. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty neat. Also, the damage and just being able to cycle a little bit easier. Like I might actually give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying it now for sure. But yeah, that is the buffs and nerfs, and we actually had nerfs this time. Woot. So
Man.
moving on into. Oh, by the way, I will say this before we get into the
Okay.
new suit. It's kind of funny that they were like, yeah, we're pretty much never going to nerf things anymore. We're just going to start bringing things up, and now they're like,
Actually,
yeah, they forgot about that, right? I hope they forgot about that. We're gonna
don't
actually
think
do
about it
nerfs
again.
and actually
Some of
do
these are
some
actually
balancing,
good.
because you actually have to nerf things. I'm sorry, you nerfs are a thing that is needed in games. So yeah,
I feel like some of this is on just I don't want to say being naive, but just like trying to idealize and like stick to a thing and finding out no things work this way for a reason, and we just need to apply it to our game too.
But they should definitely make all the raids in 400 or whatever, or 500 or whatever.
Just
better.
bump them all up. I mean, yeah. Like I don't know if you're joking, but also just do that.
I just go back to what we were talking about the Doulahan. Like they should
Right.
definitely just make all the raids at that cost better.
but so real quick, this is where we can go ahead and I guess talk about the spoiler suits and the new suit stuff.
Okay.
So
Spoiler alert.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and put up on the screen a spoiler overlay. And when that disappears and when that's not on the screen, so if you want to mute for a little bit, There we go.
Everybody go away. We can't talk
and
about shit.
then once we're done with this,
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
spoilers
Put up
will be
speaking.
gone, and we'll try to keep this kind of brief because I'm starting to get text. So,
People are like sending you things.
well, I'm gonna have to
Right, for the
help with
thing, yeah.
yeah. But anyway, let's see. Where is I cannot alphabet again.
Oh no.
Okay, but anyway, the spoiler stuff, by the way, is 2 suits. They've leaked images, or someone's found images that kind of look like the images that were found last time of the leaks. So they look very similar to that. So that's what we're going to be talking about. If you were wondering what it is, I finally found the picture. So here we go. So there's the spoiler alert. Psycho Gundams, because people go psycho if they hear spoiler alert. Spoilers. There we go. Yeah, that's why I made that. Yeah. Anyway. But anyway, so now that that's up, what are the 2 suits again? The so we got the
Riga Z.
yeah, that thing, and the Barzam
Barzam.
refined, yeah.
Or the Photoshop Barzam, as
Rebones
I like to call
Bosm.
So, I mean, this is why it's kind of gonna be quick, because I'm like, okay, we knew the other one was gonna probably be in the game, because that just makes sense, right? Because that's Char's counterattack. So, I guess the big thing with the Riga Z is what do we think that gun's going to do? Because
What that gun do?
is that a grenade launcher, or what is that on it? Like,
It
or is
looks.
it just a
People are
second
saying that it's
beam?
legit, just a stripped off beam, or not beam bazooka, but hyper bazooka.
bazooka. Yeah.
Oh,
Looks like
interesting.
So originally, I thought that it was going to be the detector's rifle because it kind of looked like that, but then I looked at it again, and it literally just looks like a Mark II rifle with a fucking bazooka strapped
Oh,
to
no,
it.
no, no, no. That's the wait, isn't it the Barzam? No, that's the refined Barzam, right? That has the bazooka thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Barzam.
Okay, yeah,
with
okay.
two
Well,
parts.
yeah, I guess we could talk about that one then. Sorry, I was on the Riga Z.
Okay.
Rickazy doesn't have a lot going on in that picture, which is kind of unfortunate.
But yeah, we can
But
talk about
transform.
the picture with the Barzam though. Yeah, that looks for real though. That just looks like a good Photoshop of like a Mark II crossed with a Barzam, dude. Like, let's go. But yeah. So the bazooka grenade launcher thing with, and what is the beam though? Isn't that just a Mark II beam rifle?
It looks like the Mark II beam rifle.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a Mark II beam rifle with a grenade launcher, only it's a rocket instead. You know what? You know what this is gonna be? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's what I'm calling for this one. It's gonna have the range damage that the Barzam has, and it's gonna have the melee damage that the Mark II has.
Oh no!
And it's just gonna be the ultimate general.
The question becomes, what cost do they put it at if it actually becomes a thing?
I think I could see it being base 50 above the Mark II.
Yeah, probably.
So, according to the wiki, the beam rifle is the same one used by or similar to the one used by the Gundam Mark II, but it just has a grenade launcher attached to it. And according to this, for heavy firepower, the refined Barzam could carry a large hyper bazooka, which was clip fed and capable of carrying 7 rounds per clip. Oh wait, no, that's the same one. So it just says it has an integrated grenade launcher. Now, whether or not that's going to be like super napalm. Oh, there's a waifu version. Hold on. So whether that's going to be super napalm or
waifu version.
under rail grenade or whatever, we'll have to see. But I got you, Gustav. I heard the curiosity and
Gundam Girl version. Hold on.
That's
funny. Okay,
there you go.
That's good.
With the I just
Oh, I guess I can't post an image.
It's either gonna be the same cost. It's either gonna be a 500 or it's 550 for sure. Is my guess too. I'd assume 550, but I could see since it's a Barzam, it could be just one higher than the normal Barzam instead. So it could be the good 500 Barzam, right?
Right.
It still has the range
replaces
modifier.
the 500 Barzam entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Like because it won't have all the problems that the Barzam has at 500, and then it'll actually have high range damage. I guess maybe. This is gonna be weird, but I kind of would like to see it though be like 550 and just be like the ultimate between. Like it has like 50 or 60 melee and range power, which would just be ridiculous. But it would just be hilarious. It was like, yeah, we had this high range damage suit and this high melee damage suit, and we just smashed them together and kit bashed it. There you go.
Yeah,
I feel like
pretty
that's
much.
the only
Kit bash.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only reason this suit exists is somebody kit bashed and they were like, yeah, I like that.
That was cool.
I'm gonna write this into some random manga or something. I don't know.
We're gonna try to make this another mass production, and it just becomes a specialty suit again. Because my OC needs to be spatial.
You know any of those Marvel or DC What If comics? This is just a What If version, but they asked the What If guy, it was like, what if the Barzam had an ass? Like, refined Barzam.
What if it didn't look like a bug?
There you go.
Because the funny thing is that the one in the illustrations actually looks even less like a Barzam. Like it looks like it shouldn't even have like the fanned out thing in the front.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because it actually has like leg plates and shit.
Yeah, the one I sent you guys actually looks cute. I think the waifu version has a bigger horn though.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Rather sizable.
That's funny.
Okay,
so
yeah, get rid of that hitbox.
Lewd.
Tone it down.
What were you gonna say, Magnum?
The Rigazi. What do we have for the gun? What do we think it's gonna be? Because it looks like it has, like it looks like it has two things it's gonna fire. Like what is that? Or is it just gonna fire once?
I think it's just gonna be a normal. I think it's just gonna be the upgraded Nemo. Honestly, it's gonna be our next GM.
I wonder, what's that little bottom piece sticking out?
Good question. So, according on the wiki, the description for his beams rifle, a standard hand carried range beam weapon is the beam rifle. This particular model used by the Riga Z has an output, whatever, laser, and it's with a laser sensor on the top. And that's it.
Oh, okay. So I'm just wondering if we'll have like a solid like insta stagger version, and then we have a machine gun version.
Like gonna get the Bertorchka's version or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be fun. Psycho frame cockpit. So
that would be its own suit just because of the frame, but like that'd be cool to get both.
Yeah. Now I will say though, just looking at this could be the second suit that uses the dummy balloons.
It needs to. And they need to be full on suits.
Why don't we have more of those? I'm just saying.
They should come out fast like they did in the movie, and like explode.
Like that'd be nice to have though. I'd like to see more of those.
There's also a potential support version. It can use the BWS kit that I think the what you call it that new Gundam I think uses in its heavy version as well. I don't know if it's the exact same. Probably not, but it still has that as an option.
I mean, that can give me hope. Be disappointed when we don't get the full armor new.
Ruin that they want to use. Damn.
That would definitely be supporty though.
Also, I don't know if you saw my response, but yes, the full armor Hainu would be fantastic.
That seems like an inevitability, right? Like they gotta get in there because like once we start hitting 700 anyway, like the fucker support's even gonna look like there. You're gonna have to ask all those questions all over again.
The line between general support would just get blurred.
We said that before, and they didn't do it. I want them to do it more now.
Yeah, it's actually
They
not
just
gonna
they
happen.
just gave them biosensor and made things that they should have normal, like a superpower.
Yeah, like, hey, here's this biosensor, and you get double dodge roll. Hey, here's biosensor, and you get a super tackle. So yeah. But anything else with the Riga Z? If not, then we can kind of move on. Is there anything else that? I mean, it's just probably just going to be pretty general. Maybe its gun has 2 firing modes or something. Is about all I can come up with.
Right.
Yeah, I think the big thing is going to be coming from its stats. Like maybe it'll have kind of bald guy feel because it has the potential to have those dummy pods or whatever, and the dummy launcher, and it has a 2-tube grenade launcher in the forearms and the skirt. It looks like, so I mean you could fire, and they just put in the arms or whatever. Pretty much have like Zeta, and of course Zeta style missiles. It's the Riga Z, right?
Right.
So maybe it just kind of feels like a dumbed down version of the Zeta Gundam that just acts as the GM of an even higher cost.
Do we think it'd be just like higher cost? Like, just I think it'd be just above the Jigen, maybe.
If it is, maybe it's 50 higher.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, but yeah, if that's it,
Let it turn to a
then
plane.
we can go ahead and get rid of the spoiler stuff. Do we want to go ahead and do that?
Is it gonna turn into a plane in the beginning, or are they just gonna have it pull shit out of space?
Well, if you tug on its mane, it turns into a plane.
Boo.
And it changes back again.
No.
But anyway.
No.
Anyway, okay, so
Ooh, that's dirty.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the spoiler done.
Do you think so?
Spoiler
Okay.
stuff done.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done here. That's it.
I'm done here.
Okay. Okay. So now, normal news suit speculation talk.
I think the Riga Z's coming out.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it would be grand if the Riga Z came out next week. I sure can't wait for the Rigazi.
Hey, you said it. Nobody be mad at me.
Why would they be mad?
I don't know.
We were talking
I don't
about
know. I
this
can't
Kazan
say
video.
anything.
As if,
I
like,
can't
half of the
say
people that
anything.
watch this haven't put it in like all of our discords.
That is true. That is true. But I mean, like,
This
if
was
anybody
not being
is,
the new Gundam.
if anybody
Like,
is
what
watching
what are you talking about?
if anybody's watching this on YouTube that's mad or anything, then
Stay mad. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
You can yell at me, twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. I'm used to it. Whatever.
Ooh, good plug. Or come tell me how mad you're at mad at him you are at
Tell me how bad at Brawl you are.
In the comments below.
EG_Magnum. Oh my gosh. And in the comments. Yes. Both. Do it in the comments and then come to my channel. Or go to Gustav's channel.
Run it back again.
Gustav.
know what I really
Gustav
hate?
X_I.
Okay, anyway. Okay.
We hate it when people follow our channels and give us Twitch Prime subs. That would be the worst. Like,
Don't act like
oh
I
my
won't yell
God.
back.
Anyway. But any other thoughts? I guess question is, do you think we're getting that many Char's counterattack suits before anniversary? And possibly even, do we think we're gonna get some of the potential spoiler stuff that we just talked about anytime soon?
I could see that being like filler suits for the anniversary. Obviously, they can do whatever they want, but I'm of the mind that we're kind of like over the little taste of it, kind of like they did with Sentinel, right?
Yeah.
And now they're just gonna wait and then like how Christmas was Sentinel Christmas, anniversary is gonna be a Char's counterattack anniversary for sure.
Pretty much, yeah. If it's not somehow, then yeah, it has to be like I don't see it happening any other way. And they're gonna have like the new Gundam banner art, or maybe new in the Sazabi kind of thing, like they did with the GBO1 and GBO2. That's probably gonna be the first 2 weeks. Is just those two. Like I will
say if we get another one, I could see Golden Week being like they just splash another Char's counterattack suit, just to kind of build hype a little bit, maybe.
Ooh. Well then, yeah, one of the spoiler things could be then, yeah. That could be interesting. So yeah, next week we see that's the funny part is everybody's like next week has been spoiled, and I'm just like, what? Like so like I don't know
I
I don't know
don't
where the
think-
indicator.
Go ahead and place your bets. We'll find out.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
think we're
thing.
getting those suits next week.
Yeah, I don't think so necessarily, but they could do something crazy next week. But,
Yeah.
Yes, Gaza D next week.
please, yes. Where's the
Yeah, we
Gaza
still
D?
need it.
I want the Gaza
We
D
still
for
need
real
it.
though. We need the Gaza D at some point. Come on, guys.
Gaza D.
Any other suits though that you guys would like to see? I guess because at this point I have no clue what we're getting.
Hazel custom.
Actually, wait a minute. Ooh.
Need to
You know
hurry
what?
up
You
and
know
just
what?
get it over with.
With one of the suits we talked about, there's a chance that depending on what tag they put on it, that could be some Advance of Zeta stuff.
Yeah.
That could mean Hazel Custom kind of stuff coming, depending on what tag they put with that.
Advance of Zeta's has so much bonkers shit too. Like I want to see some of those in the game.
Yeah, for real. Let's go, dude.
Because of that face you made a second ago, I couldn't tell if it was like a Pog champ or like it was like you were like excited but horrified. It was like a combination of Pog champ and what face. God, I can't tell if he's fearing for his life or if he's excited. It could be both.
It's always both.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what supports players are like when the suit deadline comes out and it's a raid.
Oh.
Exactly. No, for real. That was me with the GBO2. The GBO2, I was like, yeah!
It's gotta. Why did you ever think that was gonna be? That is literally a dueling suit.
Oh well, I mean, well, you know, I want the suit to come out, so I was hyped. I'm like, yeah, it's out, and then it's like, it's a raid. No, I knew it. But yeah, but yeah, that's about all I got. I other than saying it, we got a general this week. What did we get last week? Was last week the raid? Yeah, raid because it was the Char suit. I don't know. At this point, we're literally up in the air as to what type we're going to get next week because they literally could be anything. Give us the full armor slave wraith already too. There's another one.
Yeah, that's overdue.
There we go. What? Actually, wait. Next week. What's the next week plan?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, 250. Huh. Okay, never mind.
It'll be a 600.
That's just gonna be one of those ones where we just get a suit and they don't care.
Yeah. When they super lowball it, it's like, yeah, you have no clue what's coming out.
Z2.
Because
they're gonna give us the dominance, and it's gonna be a 250 suit. Fuck.
Yes, that's what it is. We're finally getting that next week. That's what we're getting for Golden Week. Is the dominance. Yes, that's my pick.
You know, that's my
pick.
That would be on theme with the last release too. So that would be
I'd
like
fucking
crazy.
Cry. You kidding me? That shouldn't be hello, man.
That's my pick. The dominance. That's what we're getting, guys. We're getting that thing.
I'll put it as my general pick.
I'm gonna say it's a support original. Yeah, sure. That's my pick though.
So GM dominance general, Z2 support, and Zaku head Zeta raid.
Okay.
Actually.
Gaza D support or full armor slave race support or okay, never mind. All mine are just support picks.
Of course. It just happens naturally at that point.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying. It's just whoops. Freudian slip there, my bad. Support. Whoops, what was that?
Did I mention support?
But yeah, Gustav, what do you got? And then
You guys do the dominance or I riot.
okay, cool. Well, anyway, anything else with that, or do we want to go ahead and do some shout outs?
Gaza, see everyone later.
Okay, that's it for the podcast. So yeah, have a good day,
Roll
everybody.
credits. Woo!
Oh my gosh. Oh man, wow. Anyway, Gustav, you want to go?
Yeah. Gustav 13th, Gustav _ X triple I. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, of course, where we do all live streaming, and we're trying to get a little bit more on Instagram. Probably just like clips and stuff like that. But I'm currently doing Saga Frontier as our secondary game, doing way too much GBO2, and also trying to get in there for clan matches, which will be tomorrow morning. Huh. So hopefully we can do okay in there. Hopefully see you guys around for all that. Both of our clans are also still recruiting, which includes GS3 and GKN. So if you're looking for one to bunch up with, be sure to look us up.
I am GamingEmblem. As you may have heard during an outburst earlier, you can find me streaming video games on the internet at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. Playing Saga Frontier also, Mope's Gonna Battle cooperation. At some point, I will also finish Digimon and play the Nier remake, and also get on Judgments probably at some point. Video
Too many games
and all that stuff. But you can come by and check it out. Because when I'm not working out at the GM, we are playing Battle Operation, where we do not play around, because our gameplay is super serious and we don't goof off.
Oh,
And
if you
feel like stopping, if you feel like stopping by to borrow one from earlier, I would love to Gaza see you later.
oh.
Okay, I got something to tell you guys after this is over. But anyway, as usual, their links and stuff will be in the description below. But I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch. Got a Twitter, Discord, YouTube channel, stuff like that. Also suffering from too many games. I got Cyber Sleuth and some other stuff to get through and all that stuff. And gonna be doing Path of Exile, Outriders, and GBO2 right now are kind of the main things coming up. This next week, possibly won't be streaming too much. Well, definitely on a couple or a few days will not be streaming much, if at all. That means possible content might get canceled as well. So I'll be messaging you guys as well about the podcast if anything happens with that. So for that, stay tuned in like Discord channels and stuff if we have to cancel or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much this upcoming week, and then hopefully the week after we'll be back to the usual schedule. But as far as that goes, at that point would then be Path of Exile, Outriders, and GBO2. But anyway, as far as tomorrow morning, I might be up for the clan ranked. And if not, good luck to everybody doing the clan ranked stuff. And I will remember to actually say that I do have another clan that is Magnum Gaming. It is lowercase m, capital G, lowercase g. So yeah, there's that one as well. I need to start building that one up. But anyway, that'll be it for this one. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about what we talked about today. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.
Have a good one. Hi, YouTube.